Good evening and welcome to PSJA ISD Football. We are at PSJ Stadium where the hardworking crew at KTRI will bring you a pivotal District 36A matchup between your mighty PSJ North Raiders and the visitors from Mcallen, the Nicky Rowe Warriors. It's Texas high school football. It's Friday night and there's no better place to be than here at beautiful DHR Health Field. I'm Javi Martinez and with me is a rock and roller, Robert Elizondo. Robert, what a matchup we have tonight. It's homecoming night, big festivities, but more importantly, Nicky Rowe, undefeated. The PSG North Raiders, one game behind. This is a huge football game tonight.
Hey, thank you for that introduction, Javi. You're absolutely right. It is a huge football game, and what a perfect night for homecoming as our PSJ Raiders, who come into district play with a 2-4 overall record, 1-1. You said it, one game behind. Nicky Rowe's at the top of the league here at 2-0, but a win notches them up. So it's going to be very exciting for the hometown crowd tonight. Raider Nation is out in droves, and after that rain that was coming in droves early this morning, it's going to be a humid night this evening, but it's a beautiful Texas Friday night here in PSJA DHR Health Field at PSJ Stadium, and we're going to have ourselves a heck of a ball game. It ain't going to get any easier for North as they're facing a really tough road team that's well balanced, but these boys are going to give it their all this evening.
Yeah, talk about the weather. It's, we got some rain today, and actually we're in the fall already. We're in, almost getting to mid-October, and it's 91 degrees outside, high humidity, but the hotter action is going to be on the football field where, as you mentioned, Nicky Rowe, they're 2-0 in district. Last week, they got a big win. They beat Juarez Lincoln 45-14. Of course, last week we saw PSG North battle against a big rival. The PSG High Bears, a heartbreaker for the North Raiders. They lost 10-7. And in all eyes, even myself, I think consensus say the Raiders should have won that game. So let's see if the Raiders can get over that hangover, play some good football tonight, and put a big W on the win column.
Absolutely right there, Javi, and I agree with you. I'm going to agree with you that I really felt that the Raiders were the better team that evening, but mistakes. You look at the number of mistakes that both teams did. PSJ was able to hold on enough just to get that 3-point win, but the Raiders have lost not only that last game by 3 points, but I want to say the last 8 games by 10 points or less,
They are the cardiac kids. I feel bad for Coach Kaufman, man. He goes through extremes through every game. The Raiders will be kicking off from the south to the north, from your right to your left. The Warriors get the opening kickoff and a lot of running room. And the return man with an excellent job right there. He's going to give the Warriors offense great field position. They're going to start at their own 44-yard line.
So from the 13 to the 44, it's 31-yard kickoff return for Rowe. That's a good start for the visiting team. Again, the Raiders' defense strength is their speed.
Right.
And so Rowe comes in, again, we say well balanced. They have a good running attack. And, it's going to be interesting to see the strength of the Rowe offense versus the strength of the Rowe defense this evening. Against the PSG North defense this evening.
And on first down, it's Jonas Ortiz at quarterback in the shotgun. Looks, fires, finds a man in the flat wide open. A lot of running room. In fact, he's going to get about 12, 13, maybe 14 yards on that first down. It was a nice, easy toss, Robert. Nothing fancy about that, just good execution on first down.
And it's going to be very similar to what the Bears showed against the Raiders last week there, Javi. Those long passes and, they're just basically long handoffs. The Raiders were able to hold that very explosive Bear offense to only 10 points, but unfortunately, it was 3 points too many.
And on second down, the quarterback is flushed out of the pocket. He throws it out. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Of course, Jonas Ortiz is a quarterback for the Nicky Rowe Warriors. He has 1,167 yards passing, 10 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. Also good runner with 161 yards rushing. Their lead running back is Lalo Bosques with 355 yards rushing. So it'll be second down. They give around the left side, and he's off, and he's going down streaking down the sidelines, and that's some good hard-nosed running. That was number 34, as I just mentioned, right on cue, Lalo Vasquez, the good, solid running back.
Yeah, and that was just a good solid run off the left-hand side, able to beat the edge and then head upfield. Got some decent blocks by the wide receivers there. And, that puts the ball now at the 24-yard line of the Raiders. And Rowe, again, just comfortably moving the ball at this moment.
Yeah, 2 plays, 2 first downs. Let's see what they do on the third play. Another big gain. And he's going to get a seam. He's going to run into the end zone. So the Warriors get a great kickoff return. They start at their own 44. They never look back 3 plays later. And that's a big touchdown run by Lorenzo Lopez, who came in with 252 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Make that 4 touchdowns on the year. And quickly, it barely took over a minute. The Nicky Rowe Warriors up 6-0.
Some misdirection on that play really had the Raider defense guessing. Everybody's on their key. The only thing was there, Javi, was that the running back was able to find, as you said, the seam off the left-hand side and then just busted it open, exploded through that line into that second level, and nobody touched him.
No, it was great offensive work by the offensive lineman. It's pretty much a give the handoff, and Lopez found a seam, burst through it, used his speed, untouched. Next thing you know, he's waltzing into the end zone, and just like that, the visitors from Mcallen, Nicky Rowe, take a 6-0 lead over our own PSJ North Raiders. Of course, the Raiders are very resilient, Robert. I guarantee you, it's homecoming night. They are going to give it everything they got. It's a must-win for the Raiders tonight. They're 1-1 in district. Next week, it doesn't get any easier. They're going to have to travel to Mission, who is currently undefeated in district. And then after that, it's La Jolla here at home. So Murderer's Row for the Raiders, they got to, at the very least, split these 4 games.
You're absolutely right. And right now, they're going to be facing the top defense in 36A, which is Mcallen Rowe, who's given up an average of 243 yards, Javi. So that offense comes in second in district. And I said, these two teams, their strengths are going to play against each other, and that's exactly what you want to see in district play to get ready for the playoffs. But you're absolutely right when you say that PSJ North, it's almost as if this is a must-win game.
I truly believe going into the season, I always said that 4 games will get you into the playoffs. Well, the Raiders have 1, and they have a tough schedule with Mission, La Jolla, and of course Road and Knight. So if they can get 2 out of those 3, that'll put them at 3. And then they maybe have a win against Mackay, somebody else, and they're in the playoffs. But first business is to get it done tonight against Nicky Rowe on that little pooch kickoff. The Raiders will take over at their own 25-yard line.
Interesting fact here for those of you watching online or at home. Coach Kaufman comes in as the head coach for the PSJ North Raiders. But, his spouse on the other side,
right,
is the principal for the opposing school currently at Mcallen Rowe. Exactly, Javi.
Yeah. So
interesting conversation this week at home during the dinner table.
There was some late dinners, some cold dinners, and some good dinners, all in the same night. And on first down, the Raiders do what they do best, is try to run the ball, but the Warriors were up to that task. Actually, that'll be a loss of about a yard or 2. They're going to say the Raiders start their drive at the 26-yard line, so it's a 2-yard loss on first down. It'll be 2nd and 12 upcoming for the Raiders. Of course, the Raiders are led by their quarterback, Isaiah Rangel, their freshman running back, Isaac Gonzalez, their go-to players, Arturo Beltran. Rangel sits, throws, completes. Big catch right there.
And that was Jonathan Garza, the junior for the Raiders, who does an excellent job getting across the field open for his quarterback, Rangel, who makes a good catch here. We see Rangel looking back, finds a streaking Garza across the sideline. There he turns upfield, extends out for the extra yard, making it a very manageable 3rd and 2.
Yeah, they pick up 10 yards on that first play. The first pass play, and a great pocket right there. Got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line. Quick toss to Beltran. He's got a seam. He's trying to get around the edge. He does. He tiptoes down the sideline. He's still on his feet. Where did they push him out? It's going to be around midfield, but definitely a first down for the Raiders.
Something different we're seeing this evening. They're really getting their playmakers involved. this evening against this talented road defense, and we're seeing a little bit of success here for the Raiders, and very good athletic ability for Beltran there as he tiptoes down the sideline, putting the ball across midfield into road territory, and they're getting him involved early this game.
Yeah, it's about an 18-yard pickup right there by Beltran. Crossing midfield do the Raiders, and on first down, a quarterback keeper up the middle. Rangel puts his shoulders down, bullies over a couple defenders, going to get knocked down at the 40. That'll be about an 8-yard pickup.
An 8-yard pickup by Rangel, who's tackled by Josiah Alonso, the linebacker, the junior linebacker from Roe. But you're right, bulldozes him over and is able to pick up a big chunk of yards there, 8 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Raiders, who are again, and right now it's a back and forth ball game as we're seeing here on the replay. Good job by Rangel to get those yards.
And on first down, they set up a screen, and wow, he had a lot of open room. Rangel got heavy pressure, though. He had to throw it away. The target again was John Garcia, and I tell you what, if he catches it, he's got a lot of green in front of him.
Yeah, and you know what? Rangel does a good job bringing in the defense, getting them to come over. The offensive line lets them penetrate because they're setting up that screen, Javi. But as he's falling back, he puts just a little too much on that ball and a little too far. Otherwise, you're right, he's going to have a lot of room to run upfield.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 for the Raiders. Midway through the first quarter, they trail 6-0. Quarterback keeper Rangel with a gaping hole over the right tackle. Hustles past the 25-yard line. They're going to knock him down at the 23, so Rangel needed 2. He picks up about another 15 yards. Great run right there by Rangel.
Beautiful job by getting that empty set out, spreading the defense. Rangel recognizes that, Javi. Sprints out to the right-hand side, the strength of that offensive line, and basically just chooses his hole as he runs up the field, getting a first down for the Raiders, setting the ball at the 23 of Nicky Rowe. And right now, I really love the offensive play calling as they're keeping this road defense guessing as to which player or what play is coming up. And so, again, good job by the offensive coordinator keeping road defense guessing.
And on this play, once again, a great move right there. Tremendous move. Made one defender miss, and that was John Garcia, who is really involved in the offense right now. So the Raiders continue to steadily move down the field.
And so we talked about the offensive play calling right now, but it's not just as simple as calling those great offensive calls. Your athletes have to be able to make moves, and that's exactly what we see John Garcia do. As it looked like he was going to be corralled behind the line of scrimmage, he cuts and goes back in, able to get those 5 yards, setting up 2nd and 5 here with 7:44 in the first quarter.
So Rangel gets a snap, gives it to Beltran. Not much doing there on that play. The defense does a much better job. It's going to be a 3rd and mid range for the Raiders upcoming.
Better job by the road defense. They're staying with their keys as they're able to hold on to Beltran and not let him get any yardage there on that play, and setting up a 3rd and 5. And it's going to be an interesting call because you're inside the goal line, inside the red zone, excuse me, and it's 3rd and 5. Anything can happen here.
I think that it's 2-down territory myself. I think you got to go touchdown for touchdown against the Warriors if you want to beat them tonight. I don't think a field goal is going to do it. I think it's 2 plays right here. If they don't pick it up on 3rd down, Rangel is shotgun. He's got trips to the left, and I think it's a pivotal play. Even though we got 6:52 remaining in the first quarter, you know, Kaufman calls a time. Mixing it up. You know, they got 33 yards passing, 25 yards rushing. So good job by the Raiders up play number 9 of this drive. Of course, the Raiders started this drive at their own 26-yard line. They're trying to answer an opening drive by the Nicky Rowe Warriors to open up the ball game. You know, the extra point was good. So it's 7-0 right now in the first quarter. big third down coming up, even though it's the first quarter. It's almost like a playoff atmosphere, I think, tonight. The Rangel almost gets the Warriors to off sides, and it's not a good play. I think the Warriors kind of gets on the snap count. We're in the backfield, and because of that big loss, it'll be 4th and 10, 5-yard loss on that play, and the Raiders may be thinking field goal.
And the offensive line coach is going to get after the center there. You get those boys who jump off that line, your coach to snap that ball.
Yep.
And that gives you an easy first down. It was 3rd and 5. That would have given them enough yards to get the first down. Missed opportunity there, and you can't have too many of those this evening against this very talented Rowe offense and defense, this talented team.
So Jose Alvarez will try a field goal, and it's going to sail wide. And it is no good. So opening possession for the Raiders. They move the ball successfully between the...
We are Mcallen! We are Mcallen!
Exotic Tropical Pet World has an amazing selection of pets, toys, and accessories. Mackay Bulldog and fans of any team should go see them at 1716 West Hackberry in McAllen.
I think this murderer's row that the Raiders will be facing these next couple of games is going to be exactly that. And depending on how they come out after these 3 games is going to define their season.
Right. It's going to be a great indication of where they sit on the season. There's no doubt the PG North Raiders have a fine football team, but of course the only thing that matters are putting the victories in the win column, you know, adding those up. And like I said, I think if they get to 4, they're in. They're at 1 right now. They got to find a way to get 3 more. And they have 5 games to do it, so it's very important for the North Raiders to get started tonight. And on 2nd down, they give a much better job by that defensive front. And of course, that defensive front is led by Aaron Alvarez, number 90, and number 99, Alberto Elizondo. They've been doing a fine job as defensive linemen the entire season.
Jonas Ortiz, the quarterback for Rowe, hands that ball off to the left-hand side, but that play never had a chance of getting into anything. The edge for the Raiders does an excellent job closing that gap. Every defensive lineman, linebacker hit the gaps and shut that play down from the beginning.
So Ortiz fires, throws, hits a man. He's going to be short of the first down. Good defensive coverage right there by the Raiders. I think Marco Salinas was there, the defensive back on the tackle. It's going to be 4th down and about 3. Let's see what the Warriors do. Will they gamble or will they punt it away?
And interesting here, the quarterback stays on the field. It might be a little pooch punt. No, it's a handoff, Javi.
It's a give, and what a great stop, not fooling anybody. And who else but number 7 Sanchez, the tackling machine, gets it done. What a great effort. And I tell you what, they gambled. They lost big time, bit the Warriors.
And you know what? That's something we saw in the previous game against the Bears. The Raiders were not afraid to call the blitz there by 7, and then again it pays off for them on that play. And so let's send it down to our sideline reporter and see what he has for it. Pedro, give us an update.
Thank you, guys. Back at the DHR field, one of the big dilemmas Marco Kaufman is going to have tonight is trying to break the lock on the Nicky Rose defense. They have only allowed an average of 14 points per game. So far, they are at 0. Back to you guys.
Great pass right there from Rangel, completed to John Garza. And of course, you know, I'm Javi Martinez bringing you the play-by-play. The analyst, none better than Robert Elizondo. Our stat man is Damian Villegas. Of course, KTRI is spearheaded by Mark Vasquez. And on the turf, on the track, is Pedro Leja.
And you're right, Pedro. The Raiders have to crack that defense that comes in very strong, rated highly here in 36A. But they have an excellent opportunity here inside, deep inside Rowe territory, as we see Rangel take it off the left-hand side. But again, we talked about that defense being stout, and that play is not going to be one of those plays that breaks this defense.
Well, it's interesting when we see the Raiders play. I think they're a north-south football team. It's difficult to pick up yards. Of course, you want to get your jet sweeps, but when it's just a straight handoff, it's difficult to get around the edges, especially against the very athletic football team that the Warriors have. You know, McCann's always known for having speed, And on that play, it was exemplified. Nothing was lost on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
And just a mistake there by the freshman, who takes off a little too early. And
dead ball. False start on the offense. Number 51, the fire penalty, still 3rd down.
Causes his offensive lineman to also move forward. And then, that's 5 yards, and you're back just at the tip of the red zone.
Right.
See what the Raiders have called here on 2nd and 15 now, Javi.
Rangel in shotgun looks, fires, and completed. And a good bulldozing run right there. And still going. Did he stay on his feet?
That was an early whistle as he was able to stay on the back of the defensive back for Rowe, and it was just a beautiful play from the beginning. Good screen.
Right.
The freshman does an excellent job getting rid of 3 tacklers as they were just sliding off of him, and then rolls over one of the defenders. But I don't believe his knee hit the ground. They're ruling it down at the 10, but a good run there by the freshman Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez receives it, makes a good run, and I kind of paused thinking, well, did he mark him down or not? They say it's going to be 3rd and 5 upcoming. Rangel with a quarterback keeper, breaks it up the middle, slants, tries to get around the edge. He's going to get stopped maybe a yard short of the touchdown, but more than enough for a 1st down. So the Raiders taking advantage of a defensive stop. They're going to have it 1st and goal now. And
the Raiders will have 4 cracks at it, Javi. This is definitely 4 down territory. You're in the 1 yard line. And the Raiders have shown that, you talked about it earlier, they're a good north and south team. Expect that play coming up here on a 1st and goal with the ball at the 1 yard line.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think it's going to be helmet against helmet right here. See who wins the line of scrimmage. Rangel under center. Gives it to Beltran. Beltran busts through, and like we said, the offensive line, that defensive front had no key to what happened. That left side of that offensive line dominant the line of scrimmage. Beltran waltzes in for a touchdown. Touchdown Raiders.
And so the Raiders are able to take advantage of that aggressive play calling by the Rowe offense, going on it on 4th and 2, and they fall short. The Raiders make them pay for that mistake there on that beautiful run by Beltran, making this a 6-7 ball game with the extra point up and the extra point good. We're all notched up at 2:09 here in the 1st quarter, Javi. So again, let's take it downstairs to our reporters. What do we have?
Thank you, guys. Back at the DHR field. And football gave revenge to the Raiders right away after losing the ball on the first possession. They regained the possession, and their good running game got 7-7, so they're halfway there through the 14-point mark that averages the defense of the Nicky Rowe Warriors. Back to you.
Thank you there, Pedro. And what a drive by the Raiders, answering the call right there. A 63-yard drive capped off by a touchdown run by Beltran. It is now 7-7.
7-7, yes. And so now the Raiders have 60 yards through the air, 30 yards on the ground for a total of 90 yards for the evening. And that is compared to Rowe's. Nicky Rowe has a total of 61 yards. So a very interesting matchup here this evening. But we're still in the 1st quarter. And we talked about how this is a pivotal game for both teams.
Right.
And we're notched up at 7-7 here, Javi.
Well, talk about pivotal games. PSJA High is battling McCann Memorial tonight. So it's, the PSJA is going at it hard against the McAllens. And hopefully we sweep that tonight, go 2-0, and look pretty in the standings on Saturday morning. But, of course, there's a long way to go. We're barely in the 1st quarter. That kickoff by the Raiders is going to sail into the end zone. It's not going to be a touchback. They're going to bring it out. Dangerous return, and he's going to get belted, and that was a big mistake, and 7 made him pay. 7 Sanchez brings him down at about the 13-yard line.
And we've seen some real aggressiveness by the Rowe visiting team. Again, as we see this kickoff, about 8 to 10 yards in the end zone, takes it out, and nowhere to go. 7 does an excellent job closing in on the ball carrier, makes a good open field tackle there, makes them pay for that decision. And so this might be just the way the coach for Rowe kind of brought in his players, saying we're going to be aggressive all night tonight. But those two aggressive play calls, the one on 4th down and the kickoff return here, have made them pay and give the Raiders some momentum here.
And on 1st down, some hard-nosed running by the Warriors.
That was Lorenzo Lopez for Rowe, who carries it up the field, gets in tough 3 yards, setting up 2nd and 6 here, Javi.
And the Warriors quickly to the line of scrimmage, not allowing the defense to substitute after a 3-yard pickup, as you mentioned.
And I got to work on my math. I meant 2nd and 7 there.
It's going to be 2nd and 7. Man in motion. Going to the far sideline. 3 receivers to the far sideline. The quarterback looks, throws, oversells everybody. That'll be an incomplete pass. Luckily, he threw it over everybody because that was good defensive coverage right there.
Yeah, no, and the defensive back for the Raiders, number 31, makes him pay for reaching up for that ball. That is Micah Lopez, the sophomore, and that was a hard hit. And a pass that sailed over the receiver's head. The receiver pays the price for that.
So here we go, 3rd down. Great opportunity for the Raiders to get out the field. They put heavy pressure on the quarterback, and the ball comes out loose. They say it's a fumble. It is picked up, and it is run for a touchdown. Number 90 doing it all year, and he does it once again. Aaron Alvarez picks up the loose ball. They blitz the quarterback. Ortiz had no idea what just happened. Touchdown Raiders.
I'm left speechless. That sack had "pow" written all over it, and that ball comes loose. Here we see the quarterback scrambling to the right, and boom, number 99 lays a hit. Albert Elizondo and Aaron Alvarez. They've been a tag team effort for these Raiders, and once again, the double brothers there make the Rowe pay on that play, and a defensive touchdown for the Raiders gives them the lead this evening. With this extra point up, Javi, it is now 14-7 here in the first quarter still.
I tell you what, Robert, you know, to me, I thought it was a big 3rd down. I didn't get a chance to say it. If the Raiders get a stop, they get the ball near midfield, and instead they force a turnover.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
Man. And so the AA batteries there, Aaron Alvarez and Albert Elizondo do an excellent job for the Raiders on that defense. And you can tell the excitement up here in the booth as you can hear our voices, but the excitement on the by the home crowd is even louder than what we are here.
Well, it's a festive crowd, Robert. You know, it's homecoming night, and the Raiders are not disappointing. A lot of reunions going on, and a lot of alumni here from the past, and even some from the future. We got some youngsters out there that can't wait to become Raiders, and the Raiders are putting on a show right now. We're still in the 4th quarter, and man, have there been some fireworks already. 1:14 remaining in the first quarter, and it is 14-7 Raiders about to kick off once again.
So a little back to the future, the Raiders looking like that powerful traditional team that they've been throughout the years, and with a little roly-poly here, and it travels 10 yards. And the Raiders, Javi,
Did they get it? Oh, my
with
goodness.
some tricks up their sleeve, do recover the ball. There is no argument there. The ball did travel the needed 10 yards. 1st down, Raiders. They're keeping us here on our toes. But unfortunately for the Rowe team, not going their way this evening.
Well, right now they're shellacked right now. They don't know what hit them. They're like a turtle. You know, they're hiding in their shell. They're clueless of what's going on. The Raiders are attacking, and they're excited. They're excited in the stands. Here we see the replay. The only question was it going to go 10 yards? It does. It clearly recovered by the kicker, Alvarez, and
I'm sorry. I'm saying it clearly went 10 yards. We saw the replay there.
There you go.
No argument.
Official call is 1st down, PSJA North. Wow. It is a great start for the Raiders right now.
Understandably, the Rowe coaches are trying to make an argument, but when they see the film tomorrow, they're going to know their argument is mute as it is right now on this play. So a first down for the Raiders. Actually, that ball should be marked about a half yard further where the kicker did recover that ball.
So great starting field position for Rangel and the Raiders. Let's see if they go on top to get a quick strike. It'll be 1st and 10 from midfield. The Raiders with a 14-7 lead here in the first quarter. Rangel with 3 receivers to his right. Looks, fires down the middle, has a receiver open, and it is caught. Great reception right there by number 83. Great job of holding on to the ball is Israel Olivares. Outstanding play right there.
The Raiders hitting on all cylinders there as Rangel hits Olivares, Javi, but they were in a man coverage there, and Beltran on the bottom side here of the field towards us was one-on-one. He easily could have cut it up the middle of the field, and nobody there to stop him. I don't know if they recognize it or not, but either which way, wonderful job there by Rangel to throw that pass. Good job by Olivares to make that reception.
Rangel with already 75 yards passing on the evening. He's going to try to get some more on the ground. He does, but will the play hold up as Rangel breaks free? He's going to scoot into the end zone for a touchdown, but hold on. This one may be coming back as we have a penalty flag at the 35-yard line.
And a holding. It's going to be a holding call against the Raiders, so that ball is going to come back. And sometimes these plays after a touchdown kind of deflate it. Here we see the replay. Wonderful job by Rangel to be patient enough to hit the holes, let his blockers get to his...
Number 51 on the offense. Penalty, still first down.
Does a wonderful job letting his blockers get to their assignments, and he just hits the Jets and goes upfield. But for not there, as a holding was the reason he was able to... And you know what, Javi, I'm not going to say that was the reason because he probably could have outrun the lineman.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, the referee did see it and throws one of those yellow laundry bags onto the field for the Raiders.
Well, holding is holding. Unfortunately, it came away way far away from where Rangel was going to streak down the sidelines for a touchdown. But the penalty did occur. It's going to be 1st and 20. They get pushed back all the way to the 40, so erase that touchdown. They're going to set up a screen. A lot of running room again. They're going to attack. Oh, and he gets tripped up. If not, he probably would have got maybe 5 or 6 more yards. That was number 24 with the reception, John Garcia, doing a fine job this evening.
And again, this is the play where he had a lot of running room earlier. This time they're able to connect. And I'm trying to see how he got tripped up. That green turf monster comes up and makes a tackle. So credit the turf there for tripping up Garza and not letting him get around the edge and get more yards. But nonetheless, they're able to recover 6 yards on that play.
Yeah, they pick up 6 yards, and with those 6 yards, Rangel already with 81 yards passing. And
looking for a new garage door or just need repairs? Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
Overhead Door of South Texas. Look for the red ribbon, 956-787-DOOR.
It's on the Bears, but it looks as if this evening the tails might be turned, and the Bears getting the better of Memorial right now, 14-0. A little update in PSJA ISD football this evening.
Both games are still early. Both teams are winning, so let's hope that continues. The Raiders with great field position here to start the second quarter, and that pass was just almost pawed into his reception right there, but not yet. It was incomplete. I thought he was going to catch. He was wide open. Error right there on the quarterback, but it's going to bring up still a 3rd and 14. Still in striking distance, though, are the Raiders.
So I might have distracted you there talking about the Bear score there, as you said, the big paw. And so the misconnection there from the quarterback to the receiver as the ball's thrown in a little low, and the receiver's unable to catch it, and it does set up for a long 3rd down for the Raiders here with the ball on the 34-yard line of the Nicky Rowe Warriors.
3rd and 14 to be exact. Rangel at quarterback sits in the pocket. Nice pocket. Throws overhead. He kind of had a receiver. Floats it over everybody. That'll be an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up a 4th down. And the Raiders kind of in no man's land. It's maybe too far for a field goal. Definitely too short to punt it away. Let's see what they elect to do here.
And I'm one of those guys who really believes that field position plays a big role here. Your defense has come up to life on the last couple of drives. And, you really could pin Rowe deep into their territory. But you're right, this is no man's land. And, Rangel setting up back as the quarterback around the 40-yard line, ready to receive this 4th down snap.
Well, Rangel with 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. He's going to roll to his right, tries to find somebody, tosses it, and that is going to sail incomplete. Big time hit on the intended receiver, Garcia. But that ball simply was an incomplete pass, so a turnover on downs. The Raiders, who had great field position right at midfield after an onside kick, failed to do anything with the football.
And again, a missed opportunity here keeps Rowe in the game. Had they punched it in and made a stamp on this drive, we would have been looking at a 21-7 lead for the Raiders in the second quarter. But now the Warriors have an opportunity to tie this game on this drive.
And the Warriors quickly back to action. A run around the right tackle. It's going to result in about a 7 or 8 yard pickup. So good yards right there by the Warriors. And that was Bosquez, their leading rusher, carrying that ball.
And the defense there unable to hold the edge this time around, as we saw them able to shut it down the last time. Here we see motion again, Javi.
And the give is up the middle again to Bosquez. And this time met by a good defensive front right there, of course, led by Elizondo and Alvarez. The linebackers doing a good job of filling the gaps right there.
And that might just be enough to move the chains, as the ball had to get to the 44-yard line. And the referee taking a look. First down, Nicky Rowe. And they're able to move the chains, get a new set of downs. The defense right now trying to make their stand, Javi, not letting them get into Raider territory.
Yeah, it was a short pickup, but just enough right on the number. They had to get to the 44. They do so. New set of downs for the Warriors. Again, a give up the middle. They're trying to find some space right down the heart of the defense. They pick up another 2 to 3 yards on first down.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. They're keeping this. They're making that defensive line work this evening, as we've seen the Battle Ford Road go into the trenches here, trying to set up that running game. And this is something that we see usually the Bears try to do, where they lull you to sleep. And this time, Raiders facing that offense.
Man in motion. They fake it up the middle, going deep. He's got a man wide open. It is caught, juggled, but received perfectly by number 13 with the reception. Ruben Salinas, their leading receiver. That'll be touchdown number 3 on the season. So big time play right there by the Warrior offense.
And that's exactly what I was just talking about, Javi. They're lulling you to sleep, running the ball up the middle, running up the ball to the sides. That defense creeping up slowly, and then they hit you with that big shot over the top. Good route by the receiver for the Warriors, even a better pass. But they're exactly, this is why exactly they're 2-0 in district, and the Raiders really have to have that A game going. It is.
There's lots to see and do in the Rio Grande Valley. If this means the world to you, trust your vision to Gulf Coast Eye Institute. For over 25 years, we've served patients with comprehensive care using the latest technology. Our team of doctors cover a wide spectrum of eye care specialties with locations across South Texas for your convenience, and always treat you with compassionate care. We want you to keep seeing and doing everything South Texas has to offer. Gulf Coast Eye Institute, your world, your vision.
Back to you.
Thank you very much, Emily Garcia, for that wonderful update. And yes, Dr. Long Elementary representing tonight, supporting their PSJ North Raiders on this festive homecoming evening. So a big welcome to the class of 19, let's say, I'm going back because I graduated from 97. So this is going to be the class of 1999, the class of 2009, and the class of 2019 who are here this evening.
A lot of nines in the house, that's for sure. And right now we're all knotted up at 14 with 10:32 remaining in the first half here at beautiful PSJ Stadium. Of course, we're playing at DHR Health Field. The Raiders, the Warriors, in a fine matchup. Kickoff by the Warriors after that big 54-yard touchdown pass. And the Raiders with a good return. Almost slips by a couple defenders. He's going to get tackled at the 32-yard line.
Another good run there for the Raiders to bring it up to the 32-yard line. It's a good starting field position. Here we see the replay. End-over-end kick taken by number 11 for the Raiders. That is Marco Salinas, as you said. He takes it up to the 32-yard line. Good hard running. That offense is going to have to be hitting again on all cylinders. And let's see what they have drawn up against this very good road defense.
Very evenly matched teams right now. It is 14-14. Rangel at quarterback. Empty backfield. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to the right, but a penalty flag, and I believe that might be a delay of game.
I think the quarterback.
Delay a game on the offense. The 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The quarterback, Rangel, trying to find out what coverage the road defense was in, as the safeties looked like they were confused as well. And so they never got set, and Rangel never able to get really to see who his options were on these routes. Does take a delay of game for the Raiders.
So it'll be 1st and 15 as the Raiders try to answer that long touchdown pass by the Warriors. It's all knotted up at 14. Quarterback keeper, bootleg around the left side, tries to get around the edge. He's going to get those 5-yard penalties back, and that's about it. So it's going to bring back a 2nd and long for the Raiders.
Good effort by Rangel there, as it looked as if he was only going to be able to get about 2 to 3 yards. He's able to outrun those defenders, move it upfield to get 4 yards. Like you said, almost getting up the yards that needed to make up for the penalty. But a 2nd and 11 here for the Raiders.
And it'll be 2nd and 11, as we just saw the art of baton twirling. You got to love that on the sidelines. You get those youngsters out there, future Raiders right there. 2nd down, Rangel trying to get his present Raiders to victory. Passes it caught by Garcia, streaking down the far sideline, gets flipped over. Wow.
Hey, it don't matter if he get flipped over. He's able to move those chains, so he gets going to pop up and say, hey, job is done. Move the chains. 1st down, Raiders. Here we see the replay again. Garza streaking across. This play has worked for them before. Good connection there from Rangel to Garza. Garza does a little spin move there, a little juke, but the defender does not get juked and flips Garza over, but not before he's able to move the chains for the PSJ North Raiders. Ball now on the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, 14-14 ball game.
16 yards on that pickup. 1st down, Raiders. Give up the middle. Was that fumbled?
And the Raiders do recover. It's fortunately for them. It was a bad handoff from the beginning, as the quarterback is trying to look for the defensive end coming in.
Right.
Never really puts the ball into the pocket, into the belly of the ball carrier. The ball carrier kind of just has his arms, as you're taught, you're coached your running backs to have those arms in your belly there. And so, again, just a bad handoff results in no gain there, setting up a 2nd and 10 for the Raiders.
Yeah, the read option is a tough play to defend, but at the same time it puts a lot of pressure on that quarterback, whether to give the ball or to keep it. That time indecision causes a fumble. Lucky for the Raiders, they hold on, but they may get another false start.
Yeah, unfortunately there, as we're saying, lucky. It is not lucky. And 5 yards back, they will go.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So that'll be another false start. They've had a couple of delay of games, a couple of false starts. I believe that is 25 penalty yards already on the Raiders this evening, and we're still in the 1st half.
And every yard lost, whether it be on a bad play, whether it be on a penalty, is an opportunity lost, because, again, that's what Rose really thrives on.
Right. It's a stinted defense. They don't give up a lot of big plays, a lot of big yards. But speaking of that, they do. Rangel, he's off to the races on the far sideline. Great pickup right there on 2nd and 15. Of course, he needed to get to the Warriors' 44-yard line. They're going to say he got to the 41, so about an 18-yard pickup on that play.
And credit the freshman Gonzalez with a tackle that busted this run open, as Rangel takes the quarterback draw off the left-hand side. You see a huge block by the freshman there, and it just opens up that run. Rangel takes it up the field. 1st and 10, Raiders on the 41-yard line of the Nicky Rowe Warriors.
The Warriors reeling right now as the Raiders, and Rangel, he passes it, hits his receiver in the flat, unable to hold on though. That would have been about a 5-yard pickup. Instead, it's an incomplete pass that brings up a 2nd and 10. You know, it's interesting. You know, I think we've touched on this before. You know, the Warriors come in with a number 1 ranked defense in the District 36A, of course. The Raiders with the number 2 offense. So it's a great matchup. And when you flip the fields over, you know, the Warriors have the number 3 ranked offense, and the Raiders have the number 2 ranked defense. So 2 good, solid football teams going at it tonight, and we're seeing one heck of a football game.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that this evening, Javi.
2nd down, Rangel with a quarterback keeper. Tries to get through the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. Big old number 69 with the tackle, driving him backwards. That's Omar Villarreal, the junior defensive lineman.
And so that's exactly what the penalty does for the defense. It gives them belief. Belief that they can stop them on 2nd and 15. Belief that they still have control of the game. And we see that as the defensive line steps up and corrals Rangel behind the line of scrimmage and then sets up a 3rd and 10 with the ball on the 41-yard line for the Raiders.
It'll be Rangel with a running back to his right. 2 receivers, each split to each side. Rangel fires, throws, has a man in double coverage, overthrows everybody. That was number 25, Rolando Coronado, the intended receiver. He's looking for a flag. He's not going to get one. 4th down upcoming for the Raiders.
So you had 2 wheel routes on that play as the outside receiver comes in on a deep slant and does not get far enough to get that safety. And so you basically had double coverage on the receiver there on that deep pass, and then the pass sails wide and unable to even make a play on it. It will set up a 4th and 10 and a punting situation for the Raiders.
So the Raiders are in punt formation. Will they punt though or fake it? And it's a pooch punt. It's a good one. It's going to roll, and they elect the Raiders. It's a touchdown. They say the ball hit the Warrior. I'm not sure what happened. I was going to say they elect to hit the return man instead of downing the ball, but I guess it was all in good play. Smart defense right there by the punt unit. That's a free touchdown, Robert.
I'm speechless.
I don't know.
I saw
what
the
happened.
exact.
I want to see that replay.
I saw the exact same thing the official saw. I'm over here paying attention to the Rangel who punts the ball and gets hit, and the referee tells him, no, we're not going to call roughing the kicker as you're out of the pocket.
But here we go. Let's see what happens. The ball bounces. Yeah, and that's and it was a smart play by Beltran. I would have gone for the downing it at the 1. Instead, he hits the return man, and
there's really no discussion as the play has been already called on the field.
It was a clear fumble. Now, are they saying? Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a fair catch. Now, if it's a fair catch, then it's a penalty on the Raiders. But there was no fair catch. The return man was fair game. They bumped him into the ball. It's a fumble. Now, the question is, can they return it from the point of contact at the 2 into the end zone for a touchdown? I say they should.
And you know what? The ball was recovered in the end zone, Javi. And so that is a touchdown for the Raiders. And we clearly saw on that replay that the ball was touched by the punt returner, even though he was pushed into the ball. And so the only question I have is there a rule as it's pushing?
Right.
But I don't believe so.
I don't
you
think
put
so.
yourself in a position
Yes.
As the punt returner. You put yourself in a position as a punt returner, and again, that you're going to be close to the ball, and that's exactly what happened right here. As he does touch the ball first, we did see it on the replay, and the Raiders recover in the end zone for the score, an easy score for the special teams unit for the Raiders.
Yeah, and the Warriors coaching staff, led by Bobby Flores, is furious. They're in awe. They don't know what just happened. What happened was it was a great special teams effort right there by Arturo Beltran. It's a Raider touchdown. It is now 20-14 with 8:20 remaining in the first half. The extra point is good. So the PSG North Raiders playing good offense, playing good defense.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
Henry Ford, and then we also have LBJ and Liberty Middle Schools here tonight. So a big thank you to our community who supports their Fighting North Raiders, and they're in for a treat this evening as the Raiders, again, hitting on all parts of the ball game: special team score, defensive score, and now and an offensive score. So all aspects of the ball game contributing to the 21 points this evening.
Yeah, and an update from our stat man, Damian Villegas, saying over there in Mcallen, it is 21-6, the Bears over the Mustangs.
So the PSJA earthquake is being felt across the valley as both schools right now with the lead here in the second quarter. 8:20 to go here, Javi, with the kickoff.
And it's fielded at the 2-yard line, quickly up to the, well, no, actually he's not going to get quickly up there. He goes east-west, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds. A penalty flag flies about 10 yards away from the actual tackle. He gets pushed out at the 19. Let's see what this penalty is going to be all about.
And we will have a personal foul, 15 yards one way or the other, as the official goes and talks to the referee to explain the call. And let's see what they have for us here, Javi.
Dead ball, personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. Yard penalty added on to the end of the kickoff.
You do not want to give any extra opportunities for that roll offense. You know, you just finished scoring 7 points on a special teams play, and then you get a penalty that goes against you and gives them 15 yards after they were going to have that ball inside their own 20. Now they bring it up to the 34-yard line for Rowe, 1st and 10. 21-14 here in the second quarter for your PSJ North Raiders.
Yeah, that'll be penalty yard number 40 against the Raiders. And the Warriors on first down after a hurdle. He gets belted and pushed down backwards. Great job, but another flag. It's getting very chippy out there.
And again, it looks like it will be another personal foul. But let's see what the call and who it's against here from our official this evening. Coach Kaufman waiting for the official call from the referee.
I wish I could read lips and say exactly what Kaufman is yelling at him.
Dead ball, personal foul number 7 on the defense, a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Another free 15 yards for Nicky Rowe as number 7 gets called on that infraction, and coach is livid and he wants an explanation as to what it goes, and it looks like the Raiders are going to take a timeout just to discuss this call.
Yeah, Kaufman wants an explanation. That was just good hard-nosed football.
The Harlingen Downtown District has a bit of everything, my friends, and here's an invitation for you to visit and experience a friendly environment with a taste of local business and a variety of shopping, dining, and entertainment throughout the year. Vintage shops loaded with collectibles from the past, dining that caters to all, boutiques, quilting, salons, live entertainment, and don't forget about market days on the first Saturday of each month on Jackson Street and Art Night the last Friday of the month. It's the Harlingen Downtown District, and the invitation is for you. Shop Downtown Harlingen today.
Doing an excellent job, but I understand Coach Kaufman, really advocating and fighting for his team.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I personally love that when a coach stands up for his own players, and that's what it's all about. You ask your players to work hard for you, and in defense of them, that's what the head coach is supposed to do. Get out there, speak his mind, and help his team. Of course, Coach Kaufman is a head football coach, not an attorney, so he will lose that battle, and there'll be a 15-yard penalty. That's 30 penalty yards already, 55 yards on the evening. It'll be 1st and 10. The Warriors, who should have had the ball 1st and 10 at their own 19 after a couple penalties, they are now at the 49-yard line.
And so the officials bring both teams in, tell them, hey, we are in a football game, not a wrestling match. And so let's keep it clean. Both gloves, they touch gloves and go back onto midfield here. Ball on the 49-yard line for the Roll Warriors, 1st and 10.
Ortiz with a man in motion. Gives it to the up. No, it's a quarterback keeper. Ortiz with a good juke move. Picks up about a yard, not much. Well, actually, he leans forward for about 3 yards. Good job by Ortiz. He really didn't have much going on and actually picked up 3 yards on that first down play.
Great job by J.J. Navarrete, number 9 for the Raiders, the senior linebacker there, who does not get fooled as the quarterback keeps the ball to the outside. He's there in perfect position, able to get that tackle. The ball does hit the ground and roll out, but not before the quarterback is able to get 3 yards on that play.
So with 2 receivers to the near sideline, 1 to the far sideline, man in motion going to the far sideline. They flip it to him. Good pass right there, good reception. It's an extended handoff on that play. Not much going on, but still the Warriors maybe pick up about a yard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Nicky Rowe Warriors as they cross midfield. They trail 21-14 to our Raiders with 7:07 remaining here in the first half.
So 1 yard on that play. And again, I talked about it earlier. This balanced road offense is going to have to face a speedy Raider defense, and they're able to quickly get to the ball here. Another long pass, this time thrown behind the quarterback there. Number 13 rolls up to about the 45-yard line for the Raiders, so it's going to be a 4th and 4 upcoming for Nicky Rowe.
Yeah, that was Ruben Salinas with the reception. Of course, the quarterback, as you mentioned, Ortiz, throws it behind the receiver, not enabling the receiver to get upfield, so it'll be 4th down. The visitors, Nicky Rowe, have a decision to make. It's 4th and 4 from the Raider 45-yard line. Kaufman points out something to the line judge. Okay, Kaufman said it's supposed to be on the near hash, not on the far hash. And because of that, I believe the Warriors call a timeout. And no, they don't. They just went out there to go huddle on the sideline. The play clock barely gets underway. There's 22 seconds, now 20. And because of all the confusion, the Warriors call a timeout.
If you're looking for custom hats, shirts, or jackets, then you want Master Stitch. Custom embroidery and screen printing are what we do. Any logo or design, great quality at the right price. For shirts like this, it's Master Stitch. 2500 US 281 Edinburgh.
Gonna try to make a defensive stance here on 4th and 4.
You know, right now, we're halfway through the second quarter after 18 minutes of play. The Warriors with 136 yards of total offense. The Raiders with 149. Of course, the difference is that turnover on that punt. And, well, actually, there's been 2 turnovers when you think about it. One was on the punt. The other one was on the quarterback sack and returned for a touchdown. So 2 turnovers have been the difference, and that is why the Raiders have a 21-14 lead here at home at PSJA Stadium, DHR, Health Field.
So the Warriors with those couple of mistakes and the Raiders able to capitalize on them, make the difference in this ball game. And, I'm standing up here, Javi, in the booth on this.
Yeah, we all are. It's intense out here. 4th down, they're punting, or are they? Yes, they do. A good punt. It's going to land at about the 8, but sail into the end zone. So, well, was there a penalty? Everybody's asking for a flag.
And 7
It'll
does
be
have
a touchback. Yeah, that was a cheap shot on 7. I'm not sure who did that, but of course, just as the Warrior return man was free game, I guess the Warriors said, you know what, we're going to take a shot at a Raider who's not really paying attention, and they, fortunately for the Raiders, that just sails into the end zone untouched. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 20-yard line.
Another opportunity for this Raider offense who's been methodical in moving the ball. I'm not going to say explosive because, again, no really big plays other than in the 14-yard game they needed for that first down. And, it's just been a really good art piece that the offensive coordinator has put on this evening. And let's see what he's drawn up on this series.
Yeah, the biggest 2 plays have come from the arm of Rangel, a 20-yard pass and an 18-yard pass. And on first down, they get back to basic Raider football. They try to run the ball. Not much doing, though. Maybe a 2-yard pickup.
More importantly, though, however, Javi, the clock is going to keep ticking here. We're with about 5:45 in the second quarter. Warriors only have one timeout. And again, the Raiders have the ball here. I believe the Raiders will be receiving the second half kickoff. And so Coach Kaufman and his staff really have any play they want to keep here as long as they keep the clock running and keep getting positive yards.
Yeah, you are correct. The Raiders will receive the second half kickoff. A big pass from Rangel.
The defensive back, number 28 for Nicky Rowe, Angel Rodriguez, kind of backpedaling there and unable to get underneath the ball as he had an opportunity for the interception. It bounces off his fingertips for an incomplete pass. Very fortunate for Nicky Rowe, for the Raiders, that it was not intercepted there. So now the Raiders have the ball, 3rd and 8 on their own 22. 5:17, the clock does stop there, Javi, and they're getting ready for this very important 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, it's going to be interesting what the Raiders elect to do. Rangel with the quarterback keeper, just not much doing. And, you know, Robert, the first 8 passes, Rangel was 6 for 8 for 75 yards. After that, he's only two out of 8. So, you know, tides have turned for the Raiders offensively. What worked at the very beginning of the first quarter, throwing the ball well, has been stifled now by the rugged Warrior defense.
Rugged Warrior defense, yeah, that's exactly why they have that 2-0 record right now in district play and a 4-1 overall, as they've been able to adapt to those offenses. Now a 4th down here, punt situation for the Raiders.
And a good solid punt. The return man fields it at the 40-yard line. Fair catch. They're going to actually give him a very generous 42-yard line.
He did slide there, Javi. I don't know. But he called for a fair catch, so probably an extra yard there. But nonetheless, the Rowe offense goes on the field with 4:32, 1st and 10. Close to midfield. They're at their 42-yard line. Let's see if they can have anything in the bag, in the tank here in the first half to tie up the ball game as the Raider defense takes the field.
Yeah, with 4.5 minutes, it's important to note that each team has one timeout remaining. And of course, the quarterback Ortiz remains in the shotgun position. A quick flag before we get the first play underway.
They're going to get an easy 5 yards there as 7 does make contact with the offensive lineman.
Dead ball. Offsides with the defense contact, number 7. The 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
A little too aggressive there, Joe, number 7, as he gives the flag back to the official saying, my bad. And unfortunately, though, it does give them a 1st and 5 with the ball on the 47 for Nicky Rowe.
So the Raiders, after that penalty, the Warriors with a quarterback keeper right in front of the Raiders sideline. Not much doing. Maybe gets a yard, or at the very least back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And I don't know if he was better off handing that ball to the running back, as the running back was able to shift up there and probably would have gotten you 3 to 4 yards, setting up a very short 2nd down. But instead, it's going to be 2nd and 6 after that 1-yard loss.
Yeah, it'll be a 1-yard loss. That's the 3rd tackle for a loss for the Raider defense. A quick toss to the right side. Good wall right there by the Warriors receivers. And the Warriors are going to pick up enough for a 1st down. That's going to move the ball past midfield to the Raiders' 47-yard line.
And number 7, at least 2 to 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, is able to get back and, almost tips that ball for an incomplete pass. But you're right, they do get the completion for a 1st down for the Warriors.
And Nicky Rowe is going to go deep. They have a man open, and it is almost caught. That was number 28 trying to make the reception for the Warriors. He had to step on the defender. That was Angel Rodriguez, unable to haul it in. That's an incomplete pass.
So through the breadbasket of Angel Rodriguez, it was a perfectly placed pass by the quarterback, as he sets his feet and just chunks it out there. Here we see the replay. Rodriguez in perfect position, and give the quarterback 2 points on that basket because it sailed right through the arms of the receiver. A good celebration there by number 11, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that was Marco Salinas defending. And on the very next play, a good run just off left tackle by the Warriors, and it'll be third and manageable, about a 3rd and 4 upcoming. We have about 3:45 remaining in the first half. Of course, your PSJA North Raiders, 21. The visitors from Mcallen, Rowe, 14.
Motion on this play here, Javi.
The quarterback gets the ball. Ortiz fires a man wide open at the 35, catches it, gets by the defender at the 30. He's going to fall forward to the 26-yard line. So big pickup on that play, and that'll be a Warrior first down.
And just a good design play to clear out the space for number 9 as he gets wide open, sits into the zone. Quarterback connects to him, moving the chains for the Warriors on that play.
The Warriors back to action quickly, a handoff. Good running room, eludes a couple of tacklers, tries to cut it right back upfield, right at the hash marks. Not much doing after that, so that'll be another 3 to 4 yard gain for the Warriors, who are on the march, trying to tie the game right before the half.
Not before 8 black jerseys completely smother the receiver there, and the running back, sorry. And he does get 3 yards there, Javi, but he does pay the price for those yards.
And on the very next play, they swing it out to the receiver. He's going to get belted out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. That was Noe Ramirez with the reception.
And so right now they got the defense going east and west, but the Nicky Rowe is paying the price on those east and west calls as they're only able to get 2 to 3 yards. And now a 3rd and about 4 here with the ball in red zone territory on the 19-yard line of the Raiders.
And the quarterback tosses into the end zone. A man wide open, but overshoots him in the end zone. The intended receiver was David Savage. Savage, the sophomore, wide open, just not able to connect, was Ortiz with Savage.
And it just looks as if he just put too much on that ball, maybe a step or two. The difference there as that incomplete pass falls on the turf, and it's going to set up, you said, 4th and 3 for the Raiders, for the Warriors here, and they're going for it, Javi.
I do believe they're going to go for it. 4th and 3, quarterback rolls out to his left, tries to find man open, fires, does have him. Does he make the reception? No, he does not. And again, that was Savage, the intended receiver. So that'll be an incomplete pass. The Raiders dodge a big bullet right before the half.
And if he's able just to put a little less on that, I think Savage has a great opportunity to come down with a catch. He chunks, he again throws it out there with some mustard, hits the receiver very high. He's unable to haul it in. So it does give the ball back to the Raiders on downs. And a huge missed opportunity for the Rowe Warriors here with 2:35 left in the second quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, Robbie, you got to be good and you got to be lucky. And in that possession, the Raiders were very fortunate not to give up any points. And the misfortunes continue, though, offensively as they keep another false start right there.
Dead ball, false start, number 51 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that will be the second time number 51 gets called for that false start, pinning the Raiders inside the red zone there with the ball now at their own 14-yard line. 1st and 15, 2:34. Those timeouts are going to be very important here for both teams, as if the Raiders do get a drive going, they will not have the luxury of having all 3 timeouts. But if the Rowe Warriors get a stop, again, they do not have the luxury of all 3 timeouts either.
The Raiders would like to pick up some points here. It could be a two-way swing. They score here before the half. They get the ball to open up the second half. Big run right there, trying to strip the ball, but instead Beltran uses his muscle to drag a couple defenders all the way to the 35-yard line. That's a big 21-yard pickup by Beltran.
21-yard pickup. It does stop the clock as they move the chains, but it gets reset here. We see the replay here. Beltran cuts it back into the inside and then is able to carry 1-2 defenders. A little help from his teammate. Positive yards for the Raiders. 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line, 2:18 and counting.
Yeah, Angel Rodriguez was trying to strip the ball, and while he did that, Beltran kept moseying down the football field, and another gift to Beltran, and Beltran showcases his speed. He's got a defender in front of him. He gets tackled from behind as a flag is thrown. We're going to see what the flag is all about, and Beltran electrifies once again, running hard with the football.
And he gets a big thank you, a big hug from his offensive lineman there. But let's see what the call is, as it was thrown at about the 28-yard line. And the Raiders are pointing towards the Rowe defense as if it might be against Rowe, which would be excellent for the Raiders after that play.
Holding, number 28. The 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, still going to be first down.
So after that 10-yard penalty, the ball is going to move from the 26-yard line to the 36-yard line. But here we see the run. Beltran, excellent vision, able to keep his feet moving, and he's outrunning defenders, gets tripped up there, but not before he's able to pick up a first down. So that holding call will not affect the first down, but it does move the ball back 10 yards from where he was tackled.
Yeah, Beltran with a 21-yarder, follows that up with a 39-yard pickup, and Beltran back in action, almost scoots by the right tackle. But you know what? He didn't seem to get much, but he leans forward, falls forward, dives forward, picks up a good 5 to 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, and the clock will keep ticking here, 1:35. As the play goes in, the Raiders get up to the ball. It is 2nd and 5 with the ball on the 31-yard line of the Nicky Rowe Warriors.
So the Raiders with an opportunity to score here right before the half. They have one timeout in their back pocket. Rangel under center. Tosses it to the freshman, Gonzalez, and he gets quickly across the football field on the far sideline. They're going to drag him out at the 8-yard line, so a big pickup by Isaac Gonzalez.
More importantly, Javi, he works his way towards the sideline and puts himself in a position where he's going to get tackled out of bounds, stopping the clock. 1st and 10, ball inside, 1st and 10, ball on the 8-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal for the Raiders. Plenty of time here. We see again, Gonzalez does an excellent job just shooing the defender off to his side, keeps his legs moving, and even backpedals a little to get more positive yards, but more important, like I said, does get tackled out of bounds.
Upcoming is the 5th play on this possession for the Raiders. Explosive plays on this drive. The give is to Beltran. Beltran scoots between a defender. He's going to be dragged, and that might be a penalty right there. That's a frustration penalty. The Raiders are okay with it because Beltran scores on an 8-yard touchdown run. The Raiders take a commanding 27-14 lead. Great job of finishing the first half right there by the Raiders offensively.
And why not dance with the one who brought you as they give the ball to Beltran. He's been pivotal on this drive. And he, again, a little bit of frustration there. Late tackle. And they're going to take the penalty on the kickoff. So, Javi, we talked about these penalties when they occur after the play. That gives them an opportunity for an excellent job, opportunity for an onside kick. So let's see. They are going to take the penalty yards on the kickoff.
Conduct on the defense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah, and the Raiders, it's a good point you make, Robert. The Raiders have really nothing to lose there. They got 1:05 defensively to withstand. If they don't get the extra point, the onside kick, the extra point is good. So it is PSG North.
Number 34, that is his first unsportsmanlike penalty.
And so an excellent job by the holder there as he...
Tropical Pet World brings people and pets together. You and your pets will love Belbaño self-serve pet wash. Complimentary grooming tables, towels, aprons, and blow dryer for a great price. Quick and easy. Go see them at 1716 West Hackberry in Mcallen.
Right, and a great finish to that drive right there. A 81-yard touchdown drive. They had 3 plays of over 20 yards. 21-yard run by Beltran, a 39-yard run by Beltran, and a 23-yarder by the freshman Gonzalez, capped off by 8-yard touchdown run by Arturo Beltran. Beltran leads the Raiders with 71 yards rushing. Rangel is second with 57, and the freshman Isaac Gonzalez has 21. And more importantly, the good stat is 8 of 16 is Isaiah Rangel for 97 yards. The Raiders with 246 yards of total offense, and they've held the Warriors to just 170.
And you're talking about the number 1 ranked offense in 36A here, and the Raider defense has done an excellent job not letting them get on the field, as that offense has taken control of the clock this evening. And, you know, again, even a bigger stat this evening, I would say, Javi, than the offensive and defense play is the play of the special teams.
Right.
You already have one onside kick recovered. You have a touchdown on that muffed punt, or on the punt, you know, mess up there by Rowe, and the Raiders sitting pretty here with a 28-14 lead.
Yeah, the only black eye the Raiders have are 65 yards of penalties, but they've overcome that. Obviously, with a 28-14 lead, it'll be an onside kick again, fielded by the Warriors return team, the Hans team, and the Warriors will start at their own 27-yard line.
Well, there is a penalty flag on the field, as they're gonna add 5 yards to that spot. We had a kick defender there offsides.
We have offsides on the kicking team, number 7. 5-yard penalty will be assessed after the end of the run. First down.
And a wise choice as to take those 5 yards there. If you give back to the Raiders, that's another opportunity for an onside kick again. And so that ball does move up to the 32-yard line from the 27 with a minute 3. That both teams still have one timeout. Expect some big chances taken down the field by Rowe here.
Yeah, expect Jonas Ortiz to try to go deep. And on first down, a good pass right there to Ruben Science. And that'll be more than enough for a first down. And the Warriors quickly to the line of scrimmage. That's about a 15-yard pickup right there. Excuse me, a 10-yard pickup on first down.
And he could have hit the receiver that was on the out route there, and receiver could have gone out of bounds, but here's the snap.
Ortiz fires. Sideline grab is made. Toe tapping on the sideline as the receiver, actually the running back, Lalo Bosques. So that'll be a 5-yard pickup, maybe 4. But more importantly, Robert, you know, he goes out of bounds. They have 43 seconds and 1 timeout remaining.
So Bosque does a good job bringing that ball in, and rather than having that quick kill the ball, they get 4 yards and kill the clock.
Ortiz fires, throws into heavy traffic right there. That sails over the intended receiver's head. It'll be incomplete. It brings up a 3rd down and a long 6, maybe a short 7.
And this is the second time the Rowe quarterback had a receiver on the out route that was open. This time it was number 8, Javier Rivero, the senior wide receiver, who was there was nobody within 7 yards around him. If he hits him on that out route, he's able to get those positive yards close to first down, and more importantly, stop the clock.
Yeah, Ortiz a little trigger happy. If he sits in the pocket and waits, he can really have a receiver develop into a big play. He scrambles for his life on that one. He's going to eat it, take a quarterback sack instead of throwing the ball out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 32 seconds, but brings up a 4th down. So the Warriors are going to have to punt the ball, and you never know on a snap to the punter.
And the quarterback a little frazzled there for Nicky Rowe. You're right, Javi. He stays inbound. The clock keeps ticking. You're going to force the Raiders to call their final timeout.
Right.
And instead, he gives them a freebie by stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, so that might be a big turn of events. The punter gets it away. He almost kneeled it, actually, as he received it. And talking about receiving, 7 gets the punt. Big head of steam upfield. He's going to get to the 36, 37-yard line. So with 22 seconds remaining and a lone timeout, the Raider offense gets back on the field.
And that number 7 put on the Jets there as he's able to hit the seam there and get between a couple of defenders, and he gets tackled there. And on this play, Javi, with 22.8 seconds, I don't know why you might not put that youngster there on the sideline and just let him try to outrun the defender. But again, you have a couple of plays. You have one timeout. Get a little closer, and let's see what PSJ North has with 22.8 seconds here with a 28-14 lead.
Well, I'm hoping they call my play the double reverse pass, but they won't. A pump fake. Get them, man. They're going to do the, what do you call that, Robert?
That hook and
hook
ladder.
And ladder. Love the way you say that. Hook
The
and ladder.
hook and ladder there. Number 25, just a little too anxious to toss that ball as he drops it. That is going to be Rolando Coronado, who had a very big game against the Bears. Unfortunately, again, they did not walk away with the W. But more importantly, this evening, though, the Raiders are comfortably ahead with a 2-possession lead here, 19 seconds and counting, with a 2nd and 10 with ball on their own 37.
Well, let's see if Rangel and company can get over the top. Of course, the Warriors with prevent defense. They give it to Beltran, and Beltran only picks up a couple yards. He's going to be at the 40-yard line, and with 11 seconds, make that 10. That may be the final play of a very exciting and exhilarating first half for the Raiders. And we will head into the halftime. It is.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph, and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
To changing the world.
We're this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
This close. We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio.
All we need is you.
This close. If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
The performing arts, the visual arts. You can find it all at Mcallen ISD.
I opened Alex Roll with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex Roll, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
ADTS All-American Honorable Mention Dancer and ADTS Kick Company. Captain, Junior, Brianna Bradford, ADTS All-American Honorable Mention Dancer. Brianna and line member Ivana Rodriguez will be performing in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade in New York City. Major, Senior, Alyssa Saldana, SMA All-Star Dancer, ADTS All-American Dancer, and ADTS Kick and Dance Company. Tiara of the Week is Araqueli Pina. We now feature the tiaras in a kick routine to Back in Black. The tiaras are wearing pink accessories to show their support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Mighty Warrior Band will now present their pigskin show entitled Bailamos. The show represents music from 3 styles of dances: tango, waltz, and danzón. So sit back, relax, let's make some noise, and welcome the Mighty Warrior Band. The Warrior Band is under the field direction of drum majors Kendra Gowdy, Lucidi Nazario, and Gabriela Perales. Once again, we proudly present the Nicky Rowe Mighty Warrior Marching Band. Tomahawk salute to the great students, teachers, administration, community members, band parents, band boosters, and sponsors of the Nicky Rowe High School Band. Thank you all for your outstanding support. The 2018-19 flag officers are Hector Lopez and Jocelyn Sanchez. The color guard is under the direction of Ms. Ariel Arteaga. The Rowe Band is under the direction of Roberto Garza, assisted by Abel Ocañas, Marisol Robledo, Henry Castillo, Laura Morin, and Bruce Brooker Key.
We are Mac. We are Mac.
Exotic Tropical Pet World has an amazing selection of pets, toys, and accessories. Mac High Bulldog and fans of any team should go see them at 1716 West Hackberry in McAllen.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
Looking for a new garage door or just need repairs? Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
Overhead Door of South Texas. Look for the red ribbon. 956-787-DOOR.
Rojas and the 1999 Queen, Miss Monique Rivera, who are on hand to help crown this year's Queen and Princesses. Please help us welcome our first Homecoming Queen nominee, Miss Clarissa Alvarez. Clarissa is the daughter of Juan and Lupita Alvarez of San Juan. Tonight, Clarissa is escorted by her father, Juan Alvarez. Clarissa currently serves as this year's senior class president and has served as class president for the past 3 years. Ms. Alvarez is also a 3-year varsity member of the basketball and volleyball program. After graduation, Ms. Alvarez plans to attend the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, where she will major in political science. Ms. Clarissa Alvarez. Our next Homecoming Queen nominee is Miss Jimena Cano. Jimena is the daughter of Joel and Paulina Cano of San Juan. Tonight, Ms. Cano is escorted by her father, Joel Cano. Ms. Cano is a 2-year member of NHS as well as the Spanish Honor Society. Ms. Cano is an AP scholar and will graduate in the top 5% of her class. Ms. Jimena is a Hidalgo County Cotillion honoree and plans to attend the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, where she will major in nursing. Ms. Jimena Cano. We now have Miss Kendra Garcia as our next Homecoming Queen nominee. Kendra is the daughter of Samuel and Dalia Garcia of FAR. Tonight, Kendra is escorted by her father, Samuel Garcia. Kendra is a proud member of the Raider softball program and a 4-year varsity member of track. After graduation, Miss Garcia plans to attend the University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio, where she will major in biology. Miss Kendra Garcia. Let's give a big Raider welcome to our next Homecoming Queen nominee, Miss Roxy Garcia. Miss Garcia is the daughter of Luis and Rosie Garcia of FAR. Tonight, Roxy is escorted by her father, Luis Garcia. While at PSJA North, Miss Garcia has been a part of the theater department's children's show for the past 4 years and will play the role of Dorothy in this year's production of The Wiz. Roxy is also currently serving as this year's senior class parliamentarian. Miss Garcia is a member of the National Honor Society, where she currently serves as vice president. Roxy has been a member for 4 years of the Raider Band. Roxy has been named as the Monitor Student of the Week and was selected as October's Rotary Student of the Month. Roxy will be graduating the top 5% of her class with a Math Associates and plans to attend Texas A&M University in College Station, where she will major in mathematics. Ms. Roxy Garcia. Miss Sydney Garza is our next Homecoming Queen nominee. Sydney is the daughter of Ben and Yvette Garza Farr. Tonight, Sydney is escorted by her father, Ben Garza. Ms. Garza is a 4-year member of the Raider Cheer Program and currently serves as secretary of the Texas Association for Future Educators. Sydney is a UIL Texas State Spirit finalist and is a 2-time Hidalgo County Cotillion honoree. Ms. Garza plans to graduate under the distinguished level of achievement with an associate's degree in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, Ms. Garza plans to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio and major in communication sciences and disorders. Ms. Sydney Garza. Let's welcome our next homecoming queen nominee, Miss Alexia Salinas. Alexia is the daughter of Aldo and Alicia Salinas Afar. Tonight, Alexia is escorted by her father, Aldo Salinas. Ms. Salinas is a 3-year varsity member of the Raiders softball program and was recently awarded with All-District Outfielder for the 2018 season. Alexia is also a 3-year member of the volleyball program and will be graduating as an AP scholar with plans to attend the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, where she will major in physical therapy. Miss Alexia Salinas. And our final homecoming queen nominee is Miss Larisa Villegas. Larissa is the daughter of Marco and Vianney Villegas of San Juan. Tonight, Larissa is being escorted by her father, Mr. Marco Villegas. Ms. Villegas is a 3-year member of FFA and is this year's vice president. Larissa is a member of NHS and a 4-year member of Student Council, where she currently serves as vice president. Ms. Villegas was recently named September's Rotary Student of the Month and the Monitor's High School Student of the Week. Ms. Villegas will be graduating in the top 5% of her class and plans to attend Texas A&M University in College Station, where she will major in biomedical science. Miss Larissa Villegas. And our 2018-2019 Raider homecoming second prince is Mr. Dante Galvan. Dante is the son of Mike and Adriana Galvan of Farr. Mr. Galvan has been a 4-year varsity member of the Raider basketball program and was recently named Basketball Player of the Year by the Monitor. Dante was named First Team All-Valley and currently holds the state title as the first in the most free throws made. After graduating from PSJ North High School, Mr. Galvan plans to attend the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, where he will major in nursing. Mr. Dante Galvan is escorting our 1999 homecoming queen, Miss Monique Rivera. She received her bachelor's degree in Business Administration Management from the University of Texas Pan American. Monique is currently the Director of Operations for Transcription Specialists. She is married to Ricardo Rivera and is a proud mother to Ezekiel. Welcome back, Monique. Our 2018-2019 Raider homecoming first prince is Jesus Villarreal. JJ is the son of Jesse and Blanca Villarreal of Mission. Mr. Villarreal has been quite busy while at PSJ North, as he currently serves as student body president. While at PSJ North, JJ has served as a 4-year member of the mighty Ragin' Raider Band, as well as the jazz and mariachi groups. Mr. Villarreal was recently selected as this year's first Rotary Student of the Month and is an AP Scholar with distinction. After graduating top 5% in his class from PSJ North High School, Mr. Villarreal plans to attend Texas Tech University in Lubbock and major in pre-law with aspirations of becoming a lawyer. Mr. Villarreal is escorting our 2004 homecoming queen, Miss Crystal Lynn Rojas. Crystal graduated college with a master's in educational leadership. She is currently teaching at Vanguard Academy, where she has been an educator for the past 9 years. Crystal is married to Mickey Rojas and is the proud mother of Noah Lee Rojas. Welcome back, Miss Rojas. Our 2018-2019 Raider homecoming king is Mr. Arturo Beltran. Arturo is the son of Bernardo and Maria Beltran of Farr. While at PSJ North, Arturo has been a 4-year varsity member of the mighty Raider football team, where he's been named second team All-District tail and slot back. Mr. Beltran has also been a 4-year varsity member of the Raider track team. After graduating from PSJ North High School, Arturo plans to join the Marines. Mr. Beltran is escorting our 2017-2018 homecoming queen, Miss Ashley Garza. After graduating from PSJ North Early College High School, Ashley attended Rio Grande Valley College and received her nursing aid certificate. She currently attends New Start School and is being trained in phlebotomy and other medical techniques. Ashley plans on becoming a registered nurse. Welcome back, Ashley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The Raider 2018-2019 second princess is Miss Jimena Cano. Your 2018-2019 PSJ North Raider first princess is Larisa Villegas. Our 2018-2019 PSJ North Raider homecoming queen is Roxy Garcia. And that concludes our 2018-2019 PSJ North Raider homecoming celebration. Let's have one more big round of applause for our Raider homecoming king and our second princess, Jimena Cano, first princess, Larisa Villegas, and homecoming queen, Roxy Garcia.
Thank you. We're ready for a very special second half after an emotional halftime, and now we have our homecoming king and our homecoming queen.
Yes, congratulations
So they won tonight, and they're going to be representing Raider Nation for the next year. And now we're ready to talk football as the Raiders are beating the Nicky Rowe Warriors. So if this score stays like this, the PSJ Bears also beating Mcallen Memorial. So regardless of what happens, PSJA is going to be 1-2 on District 36A starting tomorrow. Now let's take it upstairs with Javi and Robert.
Thank you there for that halftime entertainment. And of course that was Pedro Leja and Miss Garcia.
There's lots to see and do in the Rio Grande Valley. If this means the world to you, trust your vision to Gulf Coast Eye Institute. For over 25 years, we've served patients with comprehensive care using the latest technology. Our team of doctors cover a wide spectrum of eye care specialties with locations across South Texas for your convenience, and always treat you with compassionate care. We want you to keep seeing and doing everything South Texas has to offer. Gulf Coast Eye Institute, your world, your vision.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
One defensively and one with the special teams. Of course, they're led by the quarterback, Isaiah Rangel, 97 yards passing, Beltran, 73 yards rushing, and their leading receiver is Jonathan Garza with 49 yards receiving.
So again, the Mcallen Rowe offense with averaging 388 yards, they're well below that here in the half. You know, if they want to get to even close to their average, and that's exactly what PSJ North is going to have to do. And the best way to keep the offense from gaining any yards is to not allow them on the field.
Right, right.
And they've done an excellent job with time possession. And more importantly here, Javi, they will receive the second half kickoff and continue to keep that Rowe offense off the field.
So it's going to be the Raiders receiving the second half kickoff. Of course, they have a 14-point cushion as they start the second half. The kick is fielded at the 12. Brought forward to about the 20-25, and he's going to be hit hard at the 26-yard line. That was number 11, Marco Salinas, with the return. So the Raiders will begin the second half with Isaiah Rangel at quarterback. Of course, he's flanked by their freshman running back, Gonzalez, and of course his all-purpose star player, Arturo Beltran.
And so they're coming off here off the I formation to open this series. One receiver to the top, Javi, and the snap.
The quarterback keeps it. He's going to look deep. He's going to try to get somebody. He's got a lot of running room around the sideline. He's going to get bumped out of bounds. And that might be about an 11-yard pickup. Good job by Rangel, buying a lot of time. It was a one-man route. He decided to go the opposite side, and he just simply outran the defense.
And I don't know if that was a design play from the start. He did roll out to his right. You're right. It was a one-man route, but that man was way out to the opposite side of the field. As you see him here, he rolled out to the left a little bit, couldn't find it. Saw it shut down, rolls out to the right, but there's really nobody open after that, so he's got to tuck and run. And he does an excellent job getting those 11 yards, setting up a 1st and 10, moving the chains for the Raiders on that first snap.
Yeah, that looked like it was almost like design, slow motion, bootleg, if you will. And on second down, Rangel will pass, and that was intended to Jonathan Garza, but that still is incomplete.
And a slow developing play there, as it was. Garza was expecting him to come out on the break and wait for the ball. The quarterback saw an empty spot in the zone waiting for Garza to recognize this, but they don't. So miscommunication there from Rangel to Garza, with the ball falling on the turf for an incomplete pass, sets up a 2nd and 10 for the Raiders on their own 39-yard line.
This time from the I formation come out the Raiders. A toss to Beltran. He's got a lot of running room. Can he break the seam right there? He does. He gets past midfield. He eludes another defender and then finally runs out of bounds, but not until he gets about 14 yards on that pickup. Great run. Actually, that's a lot more than 14. That might be a 17-yard variety right there from Arturo Beltran.
Quarterback under center tosses it out to Beltran. Again, you see the freshman deliver a good block there, opening the field for Beltran. He's able to take it up And these Raiders are picking up right where they left off in their running game after they were able to score on the final possession to increase the lead to 28-14, and they're very comfortably moving the ball again here on this first drive.
And as you say that, you can never give anybody a compliment nowadays. You know, you give them a compliment and they go for the false start and push back 5 yards.
And I shook my hand hard at that lineman for moving. They had something good going. And then again, you know, the penalty seems to be the Achilles heel for this Raider offense. This is now their 7th penalty. Sorry. Fill me in here, Javi. You're giving me some hand signals.
I'm giving you 75. Well, that's more than 7 penalties. That's about 10 penalties right there for 75 yards. So that's been the Achilles heel tonight for the Raiders. First and 15.
And speak of the devil, and he will appear once again.
You know.
Dead ball. Ball start of the offense, number 50.
Hey, why not get him?
5-yard penalty.
Challenge ourselves and make it a first and 20.
And they've been able to overcome those long yardage situations. But again, you don't want to give them any opportunities as you give me the signal for 80-yard penalties there. Thank you very much. And, you know, you cannot just get too comfortable with a 2-possession lead against this very, again, I say well-balanced roll offense, but the defense here is going to have to get a stop.
It's a potent offense, so, you know, right now what you want to do is what you did there on that first and 20 is just plug away, pick up yards in chunks. You know, that's a good 8-9 yard pickup. When they do run the ball, you know, they've got an 11-yard run. Here we see the replay, the big hard-nosed running right there by that freshman running back, Gonzalez, and the Raiders are going to be forced into a 2nd and 11 after that 9-yard pickup from the I formation. Beltran gets hit and hit hard, belted in the backfield by number 24 for the Warriors, and that's going to be a big-time loss right there.
It is a huge loss on 3rd down, putting the ball at midfield. It's now going to be a 3rd and about 17 there. And again, this time the Road Warriors were ready for that toss, which has been very successful for the Raiders. And now an interesting play call here. And again, they've been getting the chunks on the run.
Right.
Let's see if they can do it here and keep the Roll offense guessing as to whether it's going to be a run or a pass.
And that was Andres Garza, the linebacker, shooting in the backfield for a big tackle, and almost hit in the backfield again was the Raiders running back. Actually, it's Jonathan Garza on the end around and not fooling anybody. You know, the Raiders come out, they pick up 11 quick yards with Rangel, an incomplete pass. They give it to Beltran for 19, and all of a sudden the penalties start coming. And as we mentioned, they're tough to overcome, and what looked to be a promising drive will end up into a punt formation for the Raiders.
So 48 tackle trap call on that one as back comes and tries to take advantage of the trap there. Here's the punt, Javi.
And it's a good punt. It's going to land at the 15. Good wedge shot right there. Had some backspin. They're going to down it pretty much right at the 15. So good job by the special teams of the Warriors.
And so let's take it downstairs to Melanie Garcia and get her update on the sideline.
I'm here with the 2018-2019 homecoming queen, Roxy Garcia. Roxy, how do you feel? I am so happy, overjoyed. I'm so honored. I just want to thank everyone who voted for me, my family for supporting me. God bless you all, and go Raiders. Back to you.
Thank you so much there, Roxy, for that. Thank you for your family and everybody who supported you. Congratulations again on the special evening. And your team doing an excellent job this evening, stuffing the run and keeping that roll defense working for every single yard. And a 28-14 lead here, no gain on that first down run, Javi.
Yeah, you know, Robert, going back to Roxy Garcia, just her emotion is beautiful right there. You know, it's breathtaking to see that, and during the halftime show, even her dad was in tears. So that's a beautiful sight. That's what the pageantry of homecoming is, and just beautiful to witness it here at PSJA Stadium. With that being said, a long toss caught at the 50 and getting to about the 35-yard line while we're crowning the homecoming queen. Ortiz says, I don't have time for that. I'm going to go deep over the top. Great reception. Great completion. The Warriors are back in business.
And the coaches saw something there in the first half. You know, they were able to complete a long pass earlier in the first quarter, and almost completed that pass for a touchdown in the second quarter. So they see some advantages there in the passing game that they're trying to take advantage. But again, in order for that to happen, Javi, they need to start having success on the field with their running game.
Right.
And unfortunately for the Warriors, they're not seeing that.
Yeah, and it's you know, you got to have chemistry, you got to have balance. It's very different between these two teams as we see here on the ground game. Lalo Bosque is just nowhere to go. Great defense by the Raiders, and the Warriors back at the line of scrimmage. It's a quarterback keeper. They should have given it to the running back. He had a lot of running room. Ortiz keeps it, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds. And what I was going to say, Robert, is, you know, the Raiders need the running game to get the passing game going. The Warriors are kind of the opposite. They need the passing game to get the running game going. So, you know, it's a toss-up tonight. We still got a lot of football to go.
And that toss-up's falling in the favor of the Raiders. This is the second time the quarterback tries to run it and keeps it to the outside, but in the direction of number 9 for the Raiders, J.J. Navarrete, and he does an excellent job staying disciplined, staying at home, and keeping the quarterback.
And the quarterback is going to fire, and wow, he just missed his intended receiver. Ruben Science almost comes up with a diving catch. That would have put him at 1st and goal. You know, Ruben Science is an explosive receiver. He comes into the game as a Warriors' second leading receiver. Their leading receiver on the evening is Ruben Salinas. As we see the replay, just a great pass from Ortiz. Just overshoots a wide open receiver by a couple of steps.
And so I didn't get to finish my sentence. They keep the quarterback in check. And because of that, it keeps him anxious. And I think we saw that on that pass there as he overthrows his receiver. And we're seeing that on display now, Javi.
He's got a man open, and whoa, he almost had him again. Science all of a sudden breaks away from his defender. Looks like he's going to come up with a touchdown grab. Didn't have the balance enough to make the reception. The Raiders dodging bullets tonight.
No excuse there. That is a perfectly passed ball from Ortiz to his receiver, who's able to get big separation there as the defender falls down up into his arms, and again unable to bring that ball in. You know, that is a second drop pass for the Rowe Warriors that it costs them a touchdown.
Yep, and because of that, the Raiders will take over on downs. Second possession here in the second half. 8:09 remaining in the third quarter. Of course, the hometown Raiders. Your Raiders are up by 14, 28-14, trying to make a statement here on their second possession. A touchdown would be very convincingly giving them a 3-touchdown lead. First down and 10 yards on first down for the Raiders.
And expect the Raiders to keep going with what's working here, Javi, the ground game. Again, getting chunks of yardage on every single play. They got a first down on that run there. Great job by the freshman to move the chains.
That's 3 runs already for over 10 yards here in the second half alone for the Raiders. And on the new set of downs, you know, it didn't seem like much, but that offensive line had a good push. They pick up 3 to 4 yards. Good job on first down by the Raiders.
Yes, 3 yards they did pick up there, Javi. But again, the Raiders are playing this the time clock game. And again, the best way to keep the offense from scoring is not to allow them on the field. So expect, again, to milk the clock here. 7:27 already here in the third quarter. The time ticking, and the Raiders giving us a heavy dose of the run game.
And Rangel under center, man in motion. They're going to sweep it that way. Big running room for Arturo Beltran. He needed 7. He picks up 8. That's another Raider first down.
And Nicky Rowe there in man coverage, but again, nothing doing. It's just a simple toss to the outside. Beltran gets around the edge, jumps and gets as much yards as he can, stays in bounds, keeps the clock ticking, and again, with a 2-touchdown lead, and the Raiders comfortably moving the ball, you know, they're setting themselves up for success here in this third quarter.
And a lot of credit has to go to that offensive line, dominating the line of scrimmage. This time the Raiders from the I formation. Rangel will give it to Beltran, this time around the left side. Beltran scoots by a couple of defenders, dragged by the arm. If not, he had one more man to beat, and it would have been off to the races. But again, Beltran with about a 10-yard pickup.
And with the Rowe Warriors stacking the line, the Raiders offensive line is still having success pushing and getting the upper hand here on the defense. And Beltran does the rest with his athletic abilities as you see him cut it back inside. and get yards forward and get the chunk of yards that needed to move the chains.
I'll tell you what, though, Robert, that is a huge gaping hole, and you give a talented running back like Beltran, he's definitely going to pick up a lot of yards on the next first down from the Warrior 31. The Raiders simply just put their helmets down and say, I'm going to overpower you. They pick up 3 to 4 yards, and of course that's just to keep the defense honest and not over pursuing.
Nonetheless, again, we see the offensive line get underneath those shoulder pads of the defensive linemen, and they're winning the battle in the trenches right now.
Yeah, that's the difference.
And then the back just does what comes naturally to him. He's going to put his shoulders down, get as many yards as he can, and we see a good 3-yard gain by the freshman Gonzalez on that carry.
Well, let's see from the I formation. Last time they did it, they had a man in motion. This time it's a straight toss to Beltran. Utilizes his lead blockers on the left side. Not much doing, though. Good stifling defense, and that's a defense everybody's come to know from the Nicky Rowe Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely right. This time they weren't fooled on that play, as they were able to swarm to the ball carrier, keep him from getting any yards. The very talented Beltran, nowhere to go, gets tackled for no loss or no gain, and then it sets up a 3rd and 7 here, 5 minutes and 10 seconds with the ball on the Rowe Warriors 28-yard line.
So the Raiders on 3rd and 7, 3 receivers to the near hash mark. Almost had a defender jump off sides. Rangel keeps it, eludes one defender, gets to the 25, tries to get to the 20. He may have gotten to the 19. That's what he needs. Excuse me, to the 21 for the first down. They're going to say possibly the 22. And it is a first down. It is misread the markers over there, so it'll be first down for the Raiders.
Correct, and they're marking that ball there at about the 20-yard line. I think they didn't move back about a yard. That first down marker is about 2 yards. There we go. They fixed that
So
up.
maybe I'm not seeing things. I'm seeing things at angles right now, and it just didn't add up. But no, it will be 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Warriors' 22-yard line. This drive started at their 33. Of course, the Raiders with a 14-point lead. They like nothing better than to extend that lead, and Coach Kaufman and the offensive coaches did not like what they saw, so they...
Without us calling their names, but it is a big group of young men who have done an excellent job all year long keeping those Raiders within close games, and it's been very exciting to see. So we're going to send it downfield, down the sideline to our sideline reporter and tell us what is going down there with our home crowd.
I'm here with Mr. Adame, the director of the PSJA North Drumline. Mr. Adame, how do you feel with the Liberty and LBJ Drumline students joining us tonight?
I think it's fantastic. These students get a really good experience being able to play with the high school band. And as you can see, they're having a lot of fun right now.
Yes, they are. Back to you.
Thank you there, Miss Samantha. And of course, that was Mr. Adame representing. And representing are the Raiders and Beltran as he dives forward to about the 6-yard line. And that'll be another Raider first down.
And a Rowe Warrior on the field, a little slow to get up, but here on the replay again, Beltran just gets the edge and gets as many yards as he can. He's a little frustrated because he could have gotten a couple more, but that drum line, maybe behind that awesome run that we just saw the Raiders get on that play.
Well, as they continue the beat continues for the Raiders offensively. On the evening, Robert, the Warriors came in defensively, allowing just 243 yards per game, and the Raiders are well over that.
Well over that indeed. They have a total of 338 yards. Isaiah Rangel still has not broken the century mark in passing, however, 97. Most of those yards, Javi, as we said, have come on the ground with Arturo Beltran, 118 of the total 241 yards that they've been able to put on the road defense this evening.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You know, the number we called out was 243 of total defense allowed by the Warriors per game. Well, the Raiders have 241 just on the ground game. And as you mentioned, at 97 yards passing by Rangel. And that's a big-time output. And at the special teams scored a touchdown, the defense scored a touchdown, and that is why we sit at 28-14. And the Raiders are looking very sound. And, of course, Jonas Ortiz trying to keep the Warriors in this ball game with 162 yards passing on 17 attempts. His leading receiver, Ruben Salinas, he's been targeted 4 times, has 3 receptions for 108 yards receiving. So Ruben Salinas and Ortiz hooking up big time for the Warriors.
And the Raiders kind of giving the rest of 31-6A the formula for beating Nicky Rowe, as they said, you know, in this district and in this day and age, the spread offense really gets, it's a Texas thing, and the quarterback's very important, but the Raiders has shown us that foundational football, the running game is still very important in the ball game.
So it'll be first down. The heck with the passing game. Beltran is going to run it in. Touchdown, Beltran. 7 yards out after the timeout. Great job by Kaufman and his staff, and the Raiders are related in the end zone. They take a commanding 34-14 lead.
And here we see the toss play, schoolhouse right, and Beltran does a good job getting behind his blockers and then moving up and crossing the goal line for the score, 34-14. The Raiders putting an exclamation point on that drive with Beltran's touchdown.
And the all-important extra point upcoming. Good snap, good hole. And Alvarez, the left-footed kicker, nails it right down the pipe. It is 35-14. The Raiders lead with 4:27 remaining in the third quarter. And
the Harlingen Downtown District has a bit of everything, my friends, and here's an invitation for you to visit and experience a friendly environment with a taste of local business and a variety of shopping, dining, and entertainment throughout the year. Vintage shops loaded with collectibles from the past, dining that caters to all, boutiques, quilting, salons, live entertainment, and don't forget about market days on the first Saturday of each month on Jackson Street, and art night the last Friday of the month. It's the Harlingen Downtown District, and the invitation is for you. Shop Downtown Harlingen today.
Row team in district on homecoming night. You have Pack the House. You have Liberty, LBJ, Dr. Long, and Ford Elementary here supporting you. You have the band, you have the drum line, the cheerleaders, and the Raiderettes all on their feet supporting this effort that the young men on the field and the coaches have given the home crowd this evening.
yeah, and you know, Robert Pedro says running away with it. The Raiders have 250 yards rushing and 125 come from Beltran. So great job by that offensive line. I always credit the offensive line. You know, anytime the quarterback makes a great play, obviously somebody gave him great protection, and that is coming down to the Raiders offensive linemen. You know, they're doing a great job on the field, and with 4:27 remaining in the third quarter, the Raiders will kick off with a 21-point lead. They're up 35-24, fielded at the 15-yard line by the return man. Gets to the 30, eludes a couple tacklers. He's going to try to head upfield. He's going to get dragged down at the 37-yard line. So excellent starting field position for the Warriors.
And so the Warriors still not yet calling it quits, as they again are fighting for their lives here. They will go into a tie, 2-1, if they leave the stadium with a loss with these Raiders. And the Bears right now,
they're all tied, I think.
They were tied after holding a commanding lead. The Bears are also undefeated in district play.
Right.
And so we would have 4 teams notched up at 2-1, making for a very interesting 31-6A play the rest of the way down.
The quarterback gives it on the end around. Not much doing, trying to cut it back is the ball carrier, Javier Rivero, and just not doing anything. Great lateral pursuit. The Raiders right now, Robert, dominating the line of scrimmage both on the offense and defensive side of the football.
Absolutely, and again, here we see the replay They are not fooled at all, as again they practice a pursuit drill during practice, and here we see the benefits of doing that. You have 4 Raiders tackling that ball carrier.
And a quick toss by the quarterback, Ortiz, is caught by the receiver. That's going to be about a 6 to 8 yard pickup. That was number 13 with the reception, Ruben Salinas, who already has over 100 yards receiving on the evening.
And so he's going to his go-to guy this evening, who's been able to give him quality play and on quality routes and trying to get something going. But again, a very important 3rd and 5 for the Row Warriors.
After that 7-yard connection, Ortiz trying to pick up 5 more yards. He fires, and that will be intercepted by 7. Sanchez streaking down the Raiders sideline, trying to pick up a couple of blockers. He cuts it back. He's got one man to beat. He looks like he may get to the 10. He's going to struggle to get into the 9. And what a great interception and run back by the defensive, possibly MVP of District 36, 7 Sanchez.
The young man has been playing like a match on fire there. He's been playing we had to credit him for a couple of sacks, credit him for an interception there, and this time he's able to show his athletic ability as he takes that interception back all the way to the 10-yard line. The only man he had to beat was the quarterback. The quarterback played safety on that one after he threw the interception to the safety, 7. Good pass there, just overthrows the receivers, falls into hands of number 7 there. Takes it out to the right-hand side, directing traffic, getting his blockers there, then cuts it back into the left.
Yeah, great
open
vision.
Field.
And talk about great vision. Beltran almost gets himself into the end zone. He had one more man to beat. He unable to do that, but still, he gets to the inside the 5-yard line. They're probably going to give him the 4, so it'll be 2nd and goal upcoming for the Raiders, who already have a 35-14 lead with 2:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and the Raiders, they're looking rather good right now.
And the Raiders are the team your mama warned you about, that they would come out and play, and sure enough, Nicky Rowe is feeling the sting on that, as, once again, a false start is, again, the Achilles heel. You said you can't give a compliment, and we were giving one there.
False start.
The bad boys on the line there, getting 5 yards penalty there. But again, the Raiders having the formula to beat the Row Warriors this evening, 35-14, and knocking on the gate one more time.
Well, call me crazy, Robert, but maybe it's a strategy that the Raiders are using. They don't want to score too quickly, so they got to get a false start and get pushed back, eat up more clock. I don't know, maybe for statistical purposes, but it's something they definitely need to clean up. That's about 85 yards. Yep, 80 yards on penalties. And Gonzalez Isaac with a good run. He's going to move all the way to the 3-yard line. So he's going to get some of the penalty yards back. In fact, he'll get +1. So it'll be 3rd and goal for the Raiders from the Warriors 3-yard line.
3-yard line indeed. And I'm going to give you two guesses as to what they're going to call next, Javi. I do not envision them passing it here, as the ground game has been working for them.
Well, I'm still looking for that double reverse pass, Robert, but you're probably right. I'm thinking they're going to key on Beltran. Maybe even Rangel's going to keep it right here. They're on the far hash mark. They give it up the middle to the freshman Gonzalez. He gets turned backwards. He's going to get stopped at about the 1.5-yard line. So decision time upcoming for the Raiders. Mass substitution more than likely means they're going to go for the field goal, or unless they get their heavy set offense in.
No, it will look like they are going for the field goal to extend the lead. We have 20 seconds on the play clock, 54 seconds on the game clock for the 3rd quarter. So why not pad the lead and make this even a more difficult game for the Row Warriors to come back from?
Alvarez with the kick. And that is an easy money field goal for Mr. Alvarez right there. So PSJ North 38, Mcallen Rowe 14 with 42 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Is anybody shocked about this? Because I'm not.
No, this is exactly what we talked about all season. The Raiders come underrated, and finally they let it all go tonight. those feelings that they've had on those close losses, and the recipient here this evening are the Rowe Warriors, and they are completely shell-shocked on homecoming night for the Raiders. You know, tonight they're showing that tradition doesn't graduate, as we have the classes 99, 09, and 19 here getting ready to celebrate a victory with 42 seconds here in the third quarter. But wait, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We have to finish the game.
Well, they're celebrating on the sidelines right now in the stands here in Raider Nation, as you mentioned, on homecoming night. Great festivities, great pageantry, and the Raiders, once again, they want to get a defensive stop here. They're going to kick off once again. They're trying to minimize Ortiz and the Warrior offense. But I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed. They're finally putting it together. I said from the very beginning of the season, watch out for this dark horse, which are the Raiders. They have a very good team. And I'm still convinced, Robert, I don't think anybody's going to go undefeated in this district. I think everybody's going to get at least one, maybe even two losses before everything is said and done.
I'm going to agree with you there. And again, if the Raiders walk away with a victory tonight, and you know, it is going to set up for a very interesting 36A play the rest of the season.
And Jose Alvarez is pumped up. He nails it all the way into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. So the Warriors will begin their next drive at their own 25-yard line. They've been silent here in the second half. Their first possession, they gave it up on downs. Their next possession was an interception return almost for a touchdown, which ended up being a Raider touchdown. So third possession of the second half for the Warriors, still held scoreless here in the second half.
And the running back taking it up the middle for Rowe for a gain of about 2.5 yards. So with 36 seconds, Rowe quickly gets up to the line, try to get one more play here. But the running back shoe came a little bit off. He's trying to get it back into place. And it looks like they're going to be content with the clock going down to 0 to start the fourth quarter.
Well, he's got 15 seconds on the game clock. And let's see if he does elect to snap it. Does Ortiz. He rolls around to his right, rolls around, and again, you know, one of those where you got to question the young man. Maybe he ought to throw it out of bounds and save a couple yards on that tackle. Actually, it's a quarterback sack. He ran out of bounds. That'll be about a 2 to 3 yard loss on the play, and in fact, there's still 4 seconds remaining.
And so on every down, you got to win the play. You got to take one play at a time there. And he missed opportunity for Rowe as number 14. If he would have just sat down instead of going, would have been in a great position to receive the ball. So he failed to recognize that he had deep coverage there, and the quarterback has no option but to run out of bounds there, Javi.
The quarterback is Ortiz, scrambling under pressure, finds a man open at the 30. He eludes one defender, gets knocked down at about the 34-yard line, and that was number 34, Lalo Bosquez, with the reception. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Great job by the Raiders in the third quarter as they take a 38-14 lead.
And again, you know, this is now has become 4-down territory for.
If you're looking for custom hats, shirts, or jackets, then you want Master Stitch. Custom embroidery and screen printing are what we do. Any logo or design, great quality at the right price. For shirts like this, it's Master Stitch, 2500 US 281 Edinburgh.
Breathing room to these Rowe Warriors.
Yeah, it's been a difficult night for the visitors from Mcallen. They've had an easy road so far, but tonight they've come into a PSJA stadium. And whenever you come into the PSJA stadium, these are not the friendly confines. You know, it's a grudge match, and it's been a buzzsaw for the Warriors. They're going to leave probably, well, we still got a quarter to go, but they're going to leave with their heads scratching, scratching their heads thinking, what happened? What did we come into? And the Raiders looking good, trying to go to the fourth quarter. And over in Mcallen, the Bears with a 7-point lead, 42-35, with over 2 minutes to go in the ball game. So might be a sweep. The PSJA schools over the Mcallen schools.
And again, I don't know if you would have taken the over-under on the Bears Memorial game. We knew that it was going to be a high-scoring affair. But right now, our very own PSJA Bears also, like you said, Javi, with the lead. But theirs is a tighter game than this one here. And you see a lot of good emotions on that Raiders sideline. And as we said, you know, they've had it bottled up after those close losses.
And on 4th and 2, the Warriors with a big gain. Hey, he runs over a couple defenders, almost ran over a big official. He said, "You're not getting over me." That's interesting. I'm not sure what
I don't know what the official's so upset about.
I think the umpire said, "No way, man, you're not going to get over me."
Yeah.
See the replay.
So the official in the black and white uniform, almost matching the Raiders, says, "I got you." Wait, no, I don't. And so,
talk about the 12th man, the Raiders utilizing the referee.
What was more interesting was the trash talking going on between the two.
You gotta love high school football, man. You gotta love high school football, especially here in South Texas, especially here at PSJA Stadium. And you know, it's a beautiful DHR health field. I think it's by far the premier football stadium in all of South Texas.
Absolutely, Javi. I agree with you on that one.
And on 2nd down, the end around the jet sweep, a good run right there from the Warriors. Ethan Reese, the senior, picks up a Warrior 1st down.
Ethan Reese not accepting a defeat as of yet, as he's playing on his senior year. You said it. He's telling everybody, you got to lead by example, follow me, and that's exactly what he does. He takes the ball, moves the chains for the Rowe Warriors, putting the ball at the 38-yard line of the Raiders.
And man in motion, they're going to flip it to him as a 2 flags fly. Big time run though by Noel Ramirez, but I get a feeling this one's going to come back unless it was defensive offsides.
And it looks like they're going to mark the ball there, and they're going to tack on 5 more yards. They're going to decline the penalty. I take that back, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Rowe Warriors.
Offsides of the defense. The penalties declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
So the Rowe Warriors getting a little drive going here. It might be a little too late, though, as they do face a huge deficit. But again, they're not giving up just yet, as they hand off the ball once again to the running back up the middle, and he tumbles and rumbles his way up for about a 7 to 8 yard gain there, Javi.
Yeah, that was Lorenzo Lopez with the pickup. Bosquez with 95 yards rushing his teammate. So Bosquez and Lopez trying to get the Warriors back in the ball game. Man in motion is Ramirez. The give is up the middle.
And he's going to get just enough to move the chains again. It is going to be 1st and 10 for Rowe at the 15-yard line. They're trying to start something here, as they have been dormant, and the Raiders completely dominant.
The give is to the left side on the far hash marks. Of course, that is Bosquez with the run. Of course, the Warriors started this drive at their own 25-yard line. 4 first downs later, they are now at the Raiders' 14-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Warriors.
And a timeout called by the Raiders here.
Yeah, that's a good timeout by the Raiders. Of course, you have a comfortable lead here in the 4th quarter, but you know, you just never know what can happen in
Exotic Tropical Pet World brings people and pets together. You and your pets will love Belbaño self-serve pet wash, complimentary grooming tables, towels, aprons, and blow dryer for a great price, quick and easy. Go see them at 1716 West Hackberry in McAllen.
Point on the game, and to take this part of the film, break it down, and see where your success is and what you can work on the following week, because as you said, Javi, this district is going to be a very contested district,
right,
as we roll closer to the end of that regular season.
Well, you know, like, as we mentioned, you know, the Raiders, they're going to head over to Mission next week. The Warriors are going to come back right back next week. They're going to face the Bears, who are trying to beat Mcallen Memorial. They had a 7-point lead with under 2 minutes to go, so let's see if our Bears can beat the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs. And on 2nd down, the Warriors are going to inch to about the 10-yard line It'll be halfway to the first down, so it's 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Warriors.
And a little bit of pressure there by the defense kind of slows the play back down in the backfield. The defenders, defense back do a good job corralling him for that slow gain.
And on 3rd and 5, hit in the backfield, but eludes a tackler. Going to fall forward, maybe a yard short of the first down, so the Warriors will probably be going for it here on 4th and 1.
You're still going to need a field goal. I mean, you know what? You would have to go for 2 from here on out,
right,
in order to have an opportunity to tie this game. So you're right. It is a 4-down territory right now.
And on 4th down, Ortiz with a man in motion gives it to he gives it to the running back, and I believe that was Bosquez. And I think he has enough for a first down for the Warriors, so that'll be 1st and goal upcoming now for Nicky Rowe.
1st and goal, ball on the 4-yard line. The Raiders unable to make a stand there, but they have an opportunity here to keep the Warriors out of the end zone. Let's see what they have drawn up here, the Rowe Warriors on offense with the ball on the 4-yard line.
So the Warriors, after 5 first downs, began this drive at the 25, trying to punch it in, and they will. That'll be a touchdown, Warriors. Ethan Reese, I believe, with the touchdown carry. That cuts the lead to 38-20 with 8:35 remaining in the ball game.
So an 18-point deficit as the Rowe Warriors send out the quarterback once again, Javi. We talked about having to make up these 2 points on every play, but again, you have to be successful to give yourself a shot.
Yeah, the Warriors are they were 3 scores behind. They were, in fact, 3 touchdowns and 2-point conversions. Man, it's hard to say. 24 points total. They got 6. They're going to go for 8 right here, but before that, there is a penalty.
Delay a game on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still need to do the try.
And that's a big penalty in favor of the Raiders, as a delay a game is going to push the Warriors to the 7-yard line. And our statman, Damian Villegas, says that's the Warriors' first penalty of the evening. A pass to the corner of the end zone. Is it caught? I believe he caught it.
And it is a catch.
It is a touchdown. And excessive celebration is going to draw a 15-yard penalty. But nonetheless, a 2-point conversion should be successful. It'll probably be 38-22.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph, and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
And of course, Coach Kaufman out there saying, come on, man. That looked like a 15-yarder right there.
And so, again, they're asking, hey, well, I think they might be asking for a hold on the other side or an illegal chop block. But nonetheless, Kaufman's smiling. And, again, you know, after our scores or some timeouts, we always throw it to our sideline reporters, and they do an excellent job. So, you know, let's give it down to them again and tell us what's going on the sideline.
Thank you, guys. And I have another here on the HR field. The game is over at Mcallen Memorial, where the Bears beat the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs 49-35. They have still 20 seconds to play, meaning the Bears are going to be number 1 in district with 3-0. And we're going to have a 3-way tie on second place with Mission, La Jolla, and of course our PSJA North Raiders, who are beating Nicky Rowe right now so far in the game. Back to you guys.
For that update on the Bears score, and we're always rooting for our teams here in PSJA. We did have Southwest yesterday with a victory 20-0 over the Lopez Lobos, and tonight we see both our PSJA teams, our Raiders comfortably in the lead 38-22, and the Bears holding off the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs currently. And so a good night for PSJA, a good football weekend here for the home crowd.
And the Raiders will get ready to return this kickoff. Of course, the Warriors with a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. It's a 16-point game. You know, in reality, Robert, it's a two touchdown game. They got to score 2 touchdowns, convert 2-point conversions, and that would be 16 points. If my math is correct. And the Raiders, of course, potentially looking for an onside kick right here.
I think it's a little too early, Javi. You got 3 timeouts, and your defense can if you can hold them, you got yourself an opportunity here.
And they're going to pooch it right into no man's land. It's a live ball recovered by the Raiders. And good return. Simply north and south. South to north is what he did right there. He gets all the way to the 40-yard line. Good field position for the Raiders.
Good field position indeed. And expect another heavy dose of running, as it's been successful for the Raiders. Beltran and the freshman Gonzalez accounting for those yards on the ground. But that is not capable if your offensive line is not opening up those holes for you. So credit that offensive line for the Raiders for the success they've been having this evening.
Yeah, dominating effort by that front of the Raiders, and Beltran tries to get around the right tackle. Successful. Picking up about 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, and the entire schoolhouse for the Rowe Warriors coming up to the line, greeting those offensive players, but unable to keep the ball from crossing the scrimmage line, and the Raiders are able to get 3 yards, setting up 2nd and 7, and continue to bring this clock down with 8:02 and counting with the ball on their own 43-yard line.
And we have a final from Mcallen Memorial. The Bears knock off the defending 36A champions, Mcallen Memorial Mustangs, 49-43. So the Bears 3-0. They're going to join Mission High at 3-0. The Raiders looking to go to 2-1.
Dead
Mcallen.
ball, false start, number 63 on the offense. The 5-yard penalty.
Mcallen Rowe fall to 2-1 themselves. That is a perfect 100 penalty yards on the Raiders. The Warriors with 5.
And the record for Mission
High. Oh, make that 10. They've got 20 yards on the Warriors. Still a bit lopsided.
I think the Bears are going to be standing alone with that 3-0 mark if Mcallen Rowe falls. Mission High here, according to the monitor, is at 1-1, Javi.
No, Mission High is undefeated. They haven't lost a game at all.
Okay, well, you know,
I never trust the monitor.
You never trust the monitor.
No, I'm just kidding. I tell you, people from the monitor. I actually get it. I am probably the only person in my neighborhood that gets it still delivered.
I don't know if that's a second shot at them saying that they're not relevant, but you know, we we appreciate all the hard work our reporters on the field, on the paper, in the news do to bring you the hard work of our young men across the valley here, Javi.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I'm just basing it on my research. I hardly make mistakes. I'm undefeated, I always say, up here in the booth, so my research is always pretty spot on, if you will.
Well, spot on. This last play was not for the Raiders. It will set up a 4th and 8 as our quirky banter up here distracts us from the play on the field. And, you know, the Raiders get stopped on this drive, which is exactly what Rowe needed, but not before they're able to take some precious minutes off the clock here, and they're going to let the play clock get down to as much as possible before calling a timeout. Kaufman already next to the line judge looking at the play clock.
And the Raiders have 6 minutes.
pivotal meaning here for the Raiders, but it might have been the driving part, after that loss to your heated rival, which is an inter-district rival, and as close as that game was, with as many mistakes as both teams made, it left a bitter taste in the Raider Nation. And they're showing that tonight as they unleash their fury on the Road Warriors this evening.
Yeah, really good football, offensively, defensively, and the special teams by the Raiders, as there we see a fine punt, and it's going to go inside the 15-yard line. So the Raiders flip the field over. Great job by the Raiders special teams.
The Warriors have been able to hold on to those 3 timeouts, as Kaufman was forced to call a timeout on that 4th down. His snapper was getting ready to snap the ball with about 10 seconds still on the play clock, and so he quickly ran to the official, called the timeout, and that was the final Raider timeout for this half, and it saved a timeout having to be used by the Warriors. And so now they have 5:52, ball on their own 14. They are facing a 16-point deficit on this drive.
And Ortiz, the quarterback, quickly gets rid of it. And the receiver is going to move up to the 20-yard line. Of course, the Warriors are going to be in right at the line of scrimmage again. Their 2-minute drill, their 2-minute offense right here. Quick-paced offense, trying to get as quickly down the field as possible.
And that is the exact same play they opened up the game with a long pass.
And the reception, and then the receiver gets belted.
And something I would take advantage of here, Javi, if I was the Raiders, is that they're subbing players, so that would give your defense time to sub, and that would take those precious seconds that the Road Warriors are trying to do. So I wouldn't be in so much of a hurry to sub in and out if that's exactly what the Road Warriors are doing as well.
Yeah, it's going to go against them. They got to wait for the defense to adjust as the offense adjusts, and a good pass right there from Ortiz. Good reception by number 28 for the Warriors. That's Angel Rodriguez.
And here we see the pass play here from Ortiz as he rolls out to his right and finds a leaping Rodriguez there waiting for the hit, but gets his feet planted, turns upfield, and gets tackled, but not before he gets a first down for the Warriors.
And the quarterback, with a lot of time, flings it out to his running back. Got a little bit of running room, gets tripped up, falls at the 42-yard line. That'll be close to a first down, but still 2 yards short. And the Nicky Rowe offense back at the line of scrimmage. 2 defenders come off for the Raiders. Ortiz looking to his right, trying to go deep. Looks, fires. Great leaping reception by number 13, his best receiver, Ruben Salinas. And he smartly gets out of bounds, crosses midfield, first down for the Warriors.
Salinas does an excellent job trying to find that little bubble in the zone, because really he was covered by 3 defenders there, and he does just that. And like you said, Javi finds the out of bounds, stopping the clock, 4:28. Ball is now in Raider territory at the 47, but the Rowe is still trailing by 16 here.
They're going to mix it up. They're going to run it. They're going to trip them up at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Ortiz is having a heck of a night, Robert. Passing, he's got 224 yards passing. His favorite target, Ruben Salinas, with 5 receptions, 126 yards receiving. Ortiz looking, finally runs with the ball. He's going to get more than enough for a first down to get pushed out of bounds. And with exactly 4 minutes remaining in the game, the Warriors are moving the ball down the field, but taking up a lot of time.
But again, they're playing smart. They're trying to get out of bounds when they can. They're keeping the defense, guessing. But this drive is taking up more time than they wish it would take. So expect a big play with this clock stopped right here. Expect them to take a shot into the end zone and try to burn them on some of the passes they've been successful.
And let's see if Ortiz can be successful once again. Passing the ball, he shoots, he fires, and it is caught. A great reception at the 15-yard line. Good, nice catch right there by Christian Ramos, number 80 for the Warriors.
So a 20-yard pass on that reception there from Ortiz to Ramos puts the ball at the 15, 1st and 10. Actually, ball's now on the 14.
And Ortiz scrambles, heavy pressure, looking in the end zone, fires. Sails it over everybody's head. I think he was just trying to get rid of the ball and avoid a sack on that one. So the Warriors are going to go back to the line of scrimmage with a 2nd and 10 situation.
This time the quarterback wisely throws it away and it stops the clock, but it is well under 4 minutes, Javi. 3:37. The Road Warriors still have 3 valuable timeouts on their side as they're trying to get the score and make this a one-possession game.
And lofted into the corner of the end zone. Does the receiver get there on time? He does, but not able to hold on.
And it looked like that was a very catchable ball again, but the receivers are going to have to make some athletic plays if they want this opportunity. Here we see Ortiz drop back and just throw the fade out to the left-hand pylon.
Oh, that should have been caught. Pretty pass.
I told you it was a very catchable ball, and this is with third drop pass that could have been a touchdown for the Road Warriors.
Well, they're going to try it again, or are they? Ortiz fires in the end zone, and that will be picked off once again by Marco Salinas, running it back all the way to the 35-yard line. Good night, Warriors. The Raiders with a big-time interception. That should seal it right there.
And so we are going to have a block on the back on the on the defenders there. They blocked the quarterback in the back. That set him up to run the ball to the outside. But nonetheless, it was after the turnover, so it will be Raider ball, 1st and 10. And then and those timeouts are now going to have to be used by the Warriors. Here we see the replay. Ortiz rolling out to his left, trying to find a receiver. He does get the separation, but he throws it behind the receiver into the hands.
10-yard penalty for the swat of the foul. First down.
Into the hands of number 11, Marco Salinas, who then does the rest with his legs and is tackled. But again, that block in the back is going to take him back just a little bit. But more importantly, though, the ball stays in the Raiders' possession. 1st and 10 Raiders, 38-22 lead, and 3:16 left here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, the Raiders with the ball, 3:16, great enthusiasm right there. Great shot of that defensive unit who got that big defensive stop. That's a big old win. He got that award right there for that big interception. Gotta love it. Great defensive effort right there. And on first down, the Raiders pick up a few yards. You know, Robert, we got to give a lot of credit to these cameramen out there. You know, great footage and beautiful high definition picture that we get out here.
No, absolutely. So I've taken the opportunity to watch some of our broadcasts at home when there is a couple of extra minutes there from doing chores and taking care of the kids. And so just watching these games has been a real artwork from our K-Tri department. They do an excellent job bringing these games to you and the rest of the community and the World Wide Web. And, you know, again, my hat's off to Kaufman, his coaching staff, and the young players today out there on the field who gave it all they had. And it truly showed, you know, the Raiders winning in all parts of the ball game, defense, offense, special teams, putting on a special show on a special night, homecoming night, 2018 for the homecoming crowd. You have your class reunions going on, so a lot of people will be celebrating this evening for the Raider Nation.
Yeah, great turn of events tonight. The Raiders heartbroken last week, elated this week, and you know they're going to move into a second place tie with about 3 to 4 teams. As you mentioned, you know, the Bears are going to be the lone undefeated team.
3:05. Thank you.
You know the Bears will be the lone undefeated team, so the Bears going to have a big bullseye from here on out, and it's going to start next week as the Warriors are going to come back here to PSJA Stadium and try to redeem themselves against the Bears. But the Bears right now riding high, first place in District 36A.
So as we have a little break here, Javi, so the Bears will be the only undefeated team?
Yes. I got to admit, what happened, let me tell you what happened. What happened was the Mission Eagles had about a 20-point lead over the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs, and I remember it was a big comeback by Memorial. I probably went to sleep before the comeback happened. When I woke up, I thought it was just a dream that the Mission beat Memorial, but the Memorial Mustangs actually won. And I stand corrected. The monitor was correct.
So are you admitting your first defeat in the broadcast booth? Then so you were wrong about the wrong M winning. It wasn't Mcallen Memorial.
Right, it was Mission.
Mission.
I thought it was Mission. In either case,
a big man admits when he was wrong.
Well, you know, I'm entitled to one mistake per week, and that was it right there. I'm glad it's a Friday night. The give is to the running back. A lot of running room. Beltran moving down the sideline, and he may go all the way streaking down the sideline. He had one man to beat, couldn't get that block. And Beltran gets pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line. What an amazing run.
Number 28 had to do what all he had to do was slow down and block the guy who was running right behind Beltran. Instead, he's running stride for stride with Beltran, forgetting about number 40. Who was that number 6 there? He says, "Oh wait, oh no,
man, I forgot to block somebody." He got excited. He goes, "I'm going to jog in there with you, get the assist." But wow,
so
got excited.
The Raider running attack is hitting on all cylinders.
That was a 49-yard run right there by Beltran. Way over the century mark, maybe even nearing the 200 mark already.
And so again, a toss to the right-hand side for Beltran. The Raiders, Javi. The Raiders with an astonishing 322 yards on the ground. And you're very right. You're very close to being correct with Arturo Beltran to make up for that mistake earlier. He's about to hit the double century mark there with 191 yards rushing this evening.
Well, that's a good sign right there for the Raiders. Raider Nation is back. They're doing it with a stingy defense, a tremendous running game, and that's a formula for success right there. That's hard to beat. A team that can run the ball well and play good, solid, fundamental defense.
And let's give credit where credit is due. Those offensive linemen have done just an absolute awesome job for those running backs to amass those many yards. And he is inching closer to the 200-yard mark. Beltran is, with 2 minutes remaining here, he does pick up on a 3rd and 10, about 5 yards, making it, on a 2nd and 10, picking up 5 yards to make it 3rd and 5 with the ball on the Warrior 32-yard line.
So we are under 2 minutes. The Raiders appear to go to 2-1 in district play. And, you know, and we've talked about Kaufman doing a fine job with his boys, and you got to give credit to Jeff Lefevre, the offensive coordinator, and Will Littleton, the defensive coordinator. Great job of rallying the troops and having a fine performance this evening on homecoming evening.
So Beltran only needing 4 yards to reach the 200-yard mark this evening will get 3 on this carry. He is 1 yard short.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio.
All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
It'll be victory formation. And if not, it's going to be a mad dash for the Nicky Rowe Warriors to get back into the ballgame. Of course, they trailed by 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions.
And so I guarantee you that's what they're talking about in the huddle right now with those linemen. Hey, your back just needs 1 yard. Can we get that 1 yard? Even better, let's get 2 to get the first down. So he will sit comfortably at 2:01 if they do get the first down here, Javi. And expect the Rowe Warrior defense to really stack the line this evening. To really stack the line on this next play.
4th down. The give to Beltran, and Beltran picks up the yards plus some, and that should about do it unless there was a penalty.
It's not a penalty, but the line judge is going to say that he did step out of bounds, so they are going to stop the clock. But that's about as far as that's going to go because, again, Warriors with just 1 timeout here. Beltran crosses the 200-yard marker for the evening on that last run and just puts a complete and utter huge exclamation point for the Raider win on homecoming night 2019.
So with 1:07 remaining, the
And,
both
sorry,
teams.
2018, huh?
20, yes, 2018. We are in. Actually, we're almost going to 2019. Time flies when you're having fun up here in the booth, broadcasting for KTRI. And victory formation, maybe one more time, and that should do it. And the PSJA North Raiders on homecoming night get the job done. They took on an undefeated Nicky Rowe football team, and they flex a muscle against them offensively, defensively, and in the special teams. PSJA North is going to come out with a huge 38-22 victory. They're going to remain in the playoff hunt, a logjam for second place with several teams being at 2-1. Of course, our Bears, who will face Nicky Rowe next week, are at 3-0. On behalf of Robert, Damian, and myself, Javi, we're going to send.
The performing arts, the visual arts. You can find it all at Mcallen ISD.
I opened Alex Roll with the intention to give people in Broadville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex Roll, what we work for is